because that's what that road is. It's chaotic. It's painful. You bleed. You lose. You suffer. You know. So if I can stop people from going down that road, and just give them a little bit of advice, then I'm getting back some love from God, because I need it. You know. And I call it soul food, innit? Like, if I can do good and encourage people to do good, then when it comes for my time, I'll go to heaven and not hell. I know the stories are fun, and they are funny, some of them, but it's a lot of pain.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, the pain that I've been through, just sat in prison cells, is immense, man.
Yeah.
Compared to all the other jails I went to, there was a lot of violence in there, though. People getting stabbed, people killing themselves. It's a naughty gaff. But then again, that's what happens in jail. See, the thing is, yeah, it don't matter how bad you are or who you think you are. There's always other people out there desperate enough to take a few quid that will come and cut you up when your fucking back's to them. I've come out the cell next morning crazy, big fucking tool in my hand. This brayer's not come out of his cell, but off the govs know what's going on. They've seen me with tools. Yeah, there was a big thing, Mac 10 shooting. He's got sprayed with a Mac 10. They're all getting 30 years each. So the brother got 30 years, he got 30 fucking years, and someone else got 30 years. It was a proper fucking thing. The madness has come back, so now I'm like, let's do this. So the doors bust open. I've picked up the guy's chair that he was sitting on, and now I'm running at him with the chairs. Like, when I was there was no nonces on my wing, and as soon as we found out there was a nonce there, they were gone.
Yeah.
Like, within that day, they were gone. There was either holding or hiding, yeah, a good beating, or their cell would be set on fire.
We are back with Anthony Roberts very quickly, because I could listen to him all night long. He's such a good speaker, and the shit he gets up to and the shit he has experienced, as you've seen from part 1, which just came out recently. I'll read some of the comments. It's got like 99-point-something% approval rating. Really compelling podcast. This guy, when he talks, is so engaging. But importantly, testament to how children are failed. So nice to see he's turned his life around. Wow, what a story. His story is more evidence that social services is a child abuse factory.
That's right.
I'm sure not all are in the know, but even those who believe they are doing good are more than likely sending innocent kids down a very dark path.
Very true.
Good luck, fella. This fella had a horrific childhood. I hope he finds some peace. I'm so glad he's gotten his life together. I wish someone would have helped him back then. I just think of the little boy that's been put through hell over and over again. I can't wait for his book to come out. I'll definitely buy it. Great interview, Shaun.
Nice comments.
Well done, Anthony, for turning your life around after everything you've been through. You talk a lot of sense. I actually decided to listen to this whilst going to sleep, but ended up enjoying it so much. It's now 3:45 a.m. Thanks, Lara. I've listened to the whole thing. Brilliant. We'll definitely read your book. Well, thank you so much for coming back on.
No worries, mate.
What have the responses been like on socials for you?
Yeah, I've had a lot of nice comments. I've had some nutters chasing me as well, but that's all part and part of it, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But other than that, yes, it's mostly nice things. I haven't had actually any bad comments, to be fair. I haven't had anyone being horrible or nothing like that. So yeah, it's been all right.
And we left off last time. You was like, you went on the rampage, drugs, armed robberies, prison.
Yeah.
So on part 2, we're going to get into loads more details about the prison stuff. And as usual, in the description box are Anthony's links. So if you want to stalk him, go down there and send him crazy messages. All right. So in prison, you had an altercation with a wife killer.
Yes.
So first off, how did you know this guy was a wife killer?
Because it was just common knowledge and he wasn't ashamed of talking about it.
Really?
Yeah.
He's bragging about it.
We weren't bragging about it, but everyone on the wing knew what he was in jail for. And
did you know the circumstances of the killing then?
I knew what he went to jail for. I knew he killed his missus, drove her around in the boot of his car for 2 days, and it was
Did he have an excuse? Like, did he think she was cheating on him or anything?
I didn't ask him. I didn't ask him. I just weren't really interested in him like that. Like obviously there was a lot of nasty fuckers on the wing at the time. You got him. You had other geezer in there that killed a woman and buried her around a golf course.
What year is this then? What prison?
This was in Swellside in 2000, between 2011 and 2012, I think 2013.
And this is the one where they mix everyone and they've got to behave themselves and do the therapy.
Swellside was Swellside's different. Swellside, we didn't have them people on the wing. Like when there were sex cases, they would get that. What would happen? This is exactly what would happen. A sex case would come on the wing. They'd either get it, or they would have their cell would just get set on fire. Yeah, and then they've got to be kicked out of the wing. That's it. They're gone, moved out.
This is Swellside. This is the one where Yami, I think, got into a lot of beefs with people.
Yeah, Swellside's it's a nutty jail. Swellside. To be fair, it's a calm prison. Some parts of it. It depends. When I was there, I was on. When I first got there, I came from Scrubs. I was fresh into the jail system. Well, I weren't fresh. I was in about 8 months then. I got there and I had a protest. Went up on the nets because I didn't like their food, didn't like the conditions. The water weren't running in my cell. So me and my other pal, we just jumped on the netting, had a standoff with them for a good couple of hours, waited for the whole squad to turn up, and then we just surrendered just because.
How does that work on the nets? Because we didn't have nets. How's it structured?
Imagine you've got one big long hall, say the size of this table, well, the shape of this table is the hall, and on each landing, you'd have like steel netting that would go from, it's just basically stop people from jumping off and killing themselves. Do you know what I mean? Or getting thrown over the balcony. So it's just a netting. So what we did is we know, obviously, if you jump on it at a certain time of day, it's going to hold all the screws back. So they're going to be staying home until fucking 8, 9 o'clock. Then they've got to bring the nationals in. And the nationals are, I believe, are the ones that come in and deal with all the ones that are kicking off in the jail.
Is that like the Tornado Squad?
Tornado Squad, that's right. So yeah, they basically, we just done it to piss them off. Do you know, that's what it was. We weren't happy. I was a bit of a div then as well, because I was just Charlie Big Bollocks, thought I was the man. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, jumped on the net, waited up there for like 3.5 hours, 4 hours, waited for 40, 50 screws to come. And when they were ready to come and take us, obviously we had negotiators there and all that. And then when they seen that they were ready to come and get us, we were like, yeah, all right then, we've had enough now. Down to the block. Yeah, but it's just like that. That's prison, isn't it? It keeps you occupied. That's the thing. It's like, I know like every day in jail is boring as hell. Do you know what I mean? But in Swellside, being that it was a high security prison, it's I found it all right there compared to all the other jails I went to. There was a lot of violence in there though. People getting stabbed, people killing themselves. It's a naughty gaff. But
so what happens with the wife killer?
Right, basically what happened with him was we was playing poker and I was with my mate Jay, and on our landing we had our little selective mates, you know what I mean? And he was doing a big bit of bird, but we used to play poker just to keep us occupied. You know what it's like when you're in jail.
Yeah.
So we're playing poker and I've got my stack of chips and I don't like this geezer. Yeah, bear in mind I know what he's in prison for.
What's he look like?
He was a short little light skinned guy, a really weird geezer, short, chubby, but he was cocky, like really smug little shit, yeah. And he killed his missus, you know what I mean? So because he's a wife killer, I weren't having it with him. I didn't like him. So I wouldn't like, even playing poker with him was not a good thing, innit? Because obviously, but we're all in the same area, so we played the game. So he's come on and he's chatting shit about the game. Anyway, my mate Jay, I said, look, I'll hold your chips quickly. He's run off to do something. So I'm holding his chips. And this fucking idiot here, this wife killer, tried to do something. So I said, what you fucking doing? Anyway, he's gone, well, and that's it. He's got it. And he's jumped out. I've smacked him up in the hall. Screws have come. I end up getting kicked off the wing. And that's just one of them things, innit? But he deserved it because of what he done.
So when you got kicked off the wing, where did you go?
I went from there to the block, got some CC.
In the block, it's your own cell?
Yeah, innit? Segregation block. And yeah, I was down there for like a couple of weeks.
So what privileges do you lose in the block?
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah,
visits, commissary.
No, visits, to be fair, you get canteen loss because you get put on basic. As soon as you get a nicking, you go onto basic regime. And that doesn't matter if you're an enhanced or not, because they've got like the tier 3 system. So you've got basic, which is basic living. You have nothing. You get £4 a week. You get you're locked up all the time. You get lesser visit time. Normally, if you're a standard prisoner, you get I think it's 3 visits a month. So you get your 2 normal VOs and then you get a PO, which is a privileged visit. Yeah, so it's an extra visit. If you're an enhanced prisoner, you'll get 4 visits. So you'll get 1 a week, which means you'll get 2 privileged visits, and then you'll get 2 normal VOs, normal visiting orders, which is your normal once every fortnightly.
And how long do visits last for?
Well, in Swellside, they were kind of decent because we're all long-term sentence, innit? We're doing big sentences. So to be fair, the visits would normally be around 2 hours. Like you get the whole afternoon.
You
Like,
sat at a table with them?
Yeah, I'd be sat at the table with my visitors and all that, which is pretty good. You know what I mean? Other jails, when I was in, where was it? High Point, I was behind the glass for 3 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which ain't nice.
On the plexiglass with the phone. Yeah, I did that.
Yeah, well, we never had the phone in ever. It's just like a little portal cabin with a bloody bit of glass and then a little mesh at the bottom so you could speak through.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So were people coming to visit you at this stage?
Yeah, I had visits. Obviously, that dwindled out after a while because I got kind of forgotten about it. This is why I don't commit crime no more as well.
Who came and visited you in the beginning, at least?
Oh, my mum, my missus, or my ex-missus. She came to visit me all the time. And then obviously, after being inside for a while, she stopped visiting because she fucking left me, didn't she?
How long did she hang in there for?
Not even a year.
Same with mine. Mine lasted about a year or something. But she was like hitting the alcohol and depressed, and like I just thought, right, I did these crimes and you're fucking suffering.
It's unfair on them as well.
You got to set them free.
It's just one of them things. Yes, when you're at it, when you're at it, and you know if you're doing bad things, you're gonna go jail.
Yeah.
So when you go jail, if your missus is lonely, that's just the way it is. You know what I mean?
It's our fault for doing the crimes in the first place.
And that's it's like what someone was saying to me the other day about the ripple effect. It's the same thing, you know. We go to jail, but not just us are suffering.
Yeah.
Our missus are suffering, and they're no different to us. They want to hug, they want to cuddle, they want to, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
how did she break it to you that
she just changed her number?
You just changed the number?
Yeah.
Ow!
Yeah, it was painful, mate.
Cold.
Yeah, it's cold. And
so you're left wondering then?
I was left wondering for months.
That's
months.
You see guys looking out the window at the car park because on the visit day thinking, is the bird coming or not?
Yeah,
and that,
it's a horrible
it got them and they never regroup from that. You see, and they're
it
like,
done my head in. It done my head in. Honest to God, Shaun, it done
so you're thinking numbers change, what the fuck?
That's it. You know what it was, yeah? This is the maddest thing about it. I got my sentence and I got moved from Scrubs to Swellside. I was in Swellside and she was coming up and visit me, bringing up my daughters and everything. And then I remember my visit, I knew this was the end. I don't know. I knew that this visit was the last time I was going to see her. It was so weird. She's come up to the visit and we both cried on the visit. I knew, now bear in mind, I love this woman. I was been with her since I was 16, you know what I mean? Got 3 kids with her. We went through hell together. Do you know what I mean?
That is a huge bond, yeah.
You know what I mean? So that we were in love at one stage. Obviously, at the end of it, it was torture, innit? But it was hard for her, man. And I get that, and I accept that because if I'd done them crimes, she wouldn't have been in that position. Do you know what I'm saying? So
it's painful enough to lose your bird, then, but then the access to your kids.
I lost access to my daughters. She wouldn't let me see them, and this is what done my head in.
Yeah.
What got me through it? I would literally just get off the nut, mate. Literally get off the nut, and
self-medicating.
And I'd just write letters to my daughters, and I'd draw them loads of pictures, and I would just post them, and every night I did that. I did that for about 1.5 years, and then I had to break away.
There was no acknowledgement that they were being received and seen by your kids.
I weren't getting nothing in return. I literally, it was mad because then I started when she changed her phone number, there was nothing in reply. There was nothing. And
do you think doing those letters and drawings helped you deal psychologically with the separation?
Yeah, definitely. Because what I was doing, I was channeling my thoughts and feelings into them letters. So I would make them boxes and make them jewelry boxes out of matches and stuff like that. I was quite artistic, so I'm good with my hands. So I made a lot of things. I would do cards, drawing, just anything to occupy my mind as well. Do you know what I mean? But make sure that I'm doing stuff so I let them know that I'm thinking of them, so they don't think that fuck, Dad's gone. Don't know where the fuck Daddy is. Do you know what I mean?
Had you done drawing and stuff like that before?
I did drawing and all that when I was on my last sentences, but on that sentence, because my daughters had been whisked away from me, I could not have. It was so fucking painful. Like, honest to God, the pain. I'd rather someone kick me in the bollocks as hard as they could.
Did it make you want to fight people and fight the guards to get?
Made me angry. Yeah, it made me angry.
Yeah.
But it also made me very sad. It made me feel sorry for myself. Like, why is this happening to me? But then again, if I look back at that now, I deserved it.
Were you asking your mum to try and find out what was up with the number change?
Yeah, but she broke away from my mum and everything. What happened was, I understand her thinking pattern behind it. She was lonely. You know what I mean? She wanted loving, innit? You know what I mean? We're all the same, men, female, we're all the same. We all want the same thing. We want a connection, you know? So she wanted that. She couldn't wait. I don't hold no malice feelings towards her for it, but what I didn't like was the fact that she didn't let me see my kids for 3 years. And then when I come out of prison, and she tried to get back with me when I got out of jail.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was like,
how many years had gone by when she changed the number to when you got out and she tried to get back with you?
3 years later. Yeah, it's 3 years. It was literally 3 years. Might have been a little bit more. But yeah, she changed her number, and it makes me shake thinking about this. I literally feel it now inside. But yeah, she's. I remember I come out of prison and I moved her because I was doing the right thing, Shaun. I thought, you know, being with you a long time. Let's not. Like, what you've done is bad enough. Not letting me see my kids for 3 years is torture on me as well as the kids. It fucks their heads up as well. But I thought, if I do it the right way, instead of being vicious, jealous, and all of them other things that come with a breakup, yeah, I thought I'll just move to Milton Keynes. So it causes there's no friction then. I don't see you, don't see me. But then she went on bad. Lie detector, not lie detector, sorry, fucking lying about injunction, got an injunction out of me, which then obviously brought the police back into my life. Which then that's why when I end up going for the man with the hammer and all that and going to jail.
Yeah.
But this is the maddest thing about it. The way she dealt with the breakup, it went the right way to do it, man.
Yeah.
I'm a mature enough man to understand that this ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't want you to suffer. I don't want to suffer. Me holding on to you whilst I'm in jail, I'm only suffering more. So by right, I should just be like, look, and I would have done this. I would have been like, look, I totally get you, mate.
Yeah.
Like, get on with your life. Just whoever you have around my kids, make sure you're on point with them. That's all I would have asked.
Yeah.
And that would have been the end of it. And we would have been friends now. But because of the way she behaved after that, we don't speak. Not even now we don't speak.
That's a shame, man. So you beat up a prison guard after a night of drinking 5 litres of hooch.
Yeah.
Made by yourself.
Yeah.
Did we do the hooch recipe last time?
I don't think we did.
What was your hooch recipe?
Mine was sugar, orange juice, pure orange juice. You know, you get the cartons of orange juice. I'll tell you exactly how I used to make this, because I was the master at making hooch on the wing. Right, basically, you'd get some oranges, real oranges. You'd squeeze them out. You get like a little, say you get a litre bottle of orange juice, like diluted orange juice. I'd have, say, a quarter of it, pure orange juice. I'd put sugar in it, and I'd put a little bit of white bread in it,
White bread.
Yeah. And then what I'd do is I'd put that on my hot pipe and I'd leave it to ferment, and that would ferment. And then what I'd do is I'd just keep adding orange juice to it. So by the end of the week, 5 to 6 days, I'd have a full litre of pure fermenting, smelly egg shit. That's what it's like. It smells of eggs. It smells disgusting. Yeah, it smells nasty. Honestly.
Did you have to burp it while it was cooking?
No. What I'd do, I show you the method around that one, yeah? Right, so what I'd do is I'd have my 1 litre of what I would call kick. That's what we all call it. It's the kick, because that's what starts off the whole punch, yeah? So then I'd get a box and I'd get 5 to 6 black bags, and I'd put the bags inside each other. And then I would put I put like 15 litres of pure orange juice in it, I said, this is how I survived in prison. This is exactly how I lived in jail, because everyone stopped visiting me. People stopped sending me money. And I was on a food boat. You know what I mean? So I had to pay. Like, you don't want to eat prison food, especially when you've got a chef in the kitchen that can cook brilliant food. So you need to pay for that, So, and that's all you got in jail. When you got your little bit of food and all that, you bang up at night, you got your munch, you're content, you know what I mean? Well, as well as you can be in jail. So anyway, I got my box. I got my five black bags in it, 15 pure litres of orange juice. I'd then get I'd get the 2 litre bottles of water, and I would melt the sugar down. So I'd get 2 kilo bags of sugar, and I would melt it down, and I'd get hot water in the bottle, and then I'd pour the sugar into the bottle, shake it up so the sugar dissolves into the water, and then I would add basically 2 of them, so that would be 4 litres of water, 15 litres of pure juice, and then my 1 litre of kick. I'd put that in. And then I would get a TV aerial, right? And this is how we get the burping out of it, right? I'd cut the end of the TV aerial off, cut that end off, and pull the wire out of it. So I've got a big long, basically, like a tube in it. So then I'd put the one end into the bag, tie it up, pull it tight, and then I'd have the other end coming out, and then I'd have a bottle of water, in the corner of the box, So this all stays in one compartment then, So the gases that are then getting released from the juice, it would go into the water and just go bloop.
So it doesn't stink,
so it doesn't explode either.
Yeah.
Because what happens is these things blow up.
If you don't burp them.
If you don't burp them, they go bang, and you end up with fucking orange juice splatter everywhere, and your still stinks, and you're getting nicked. You're in trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do that, and
Where did you hide it?
I used to hide it under my bed.
Under the bed.
Yeah, but imagine this, because I was in Swellside, everyone's comfortable in their cells. It's not like going to Brixton or Wandsworth where your cell is just it's just like people spend time in their cells, so they make their cells look nice. They'll adapt the furniture. They'll make them like my cell. I remember this geezer, this screw there. He said my cell was the nicest cell he'd ever seen in Swellside, because my cell was like, I made it nice. I had all material on the sides. My cell looked nice. It was like a little bedroom.
Yeah.
So, but I had like compartments under my bed. That you couldn't see things in it. So obviously the screws would come in there, do looks and they wouldn't see it, because they can't smell no sweetness in the air, because you can smell the sweet, because it's sugar and juice, you can smell it. It's a distinctive smell,
Yeah.
But as long as that smell's masked, they can't find it. And
what about like random fucking shakedowns?
I've had spins. I've got extra days twice for booze.
Yeah.
But I tell you, the best time was when the funniest time I got caught with hooch, was when I was on A-Wing. And in Scrubs, it was coming up towards Christmas. Now, every prison I've been to, coming up towards Christmas, they shut the fucking gaff down and they hunt for hooch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they know it's parties, isn't it? We're going to party, get pissed, and everyone starts fighting, smash up the wing.
Yeah, everyone's fucking depressed.
Exactly. Yeah. So what they used to do, they should just random come and spin us all. And on this one particular day, they spun our cell, and they found they spun my cell and every other cell on the wing, and they found, I think it must have been about 300 litres of hooch they got off of just my wing. Yeah. So because like 90% of the wing got caught with hooch,
they couldn't do anything.
They couldn't do nothing about it. So we got away with it. But I got caught when I was in Blunderston back in 2009. That was when I got released from there. It was around to 2-8 times. They come in, they found my hooch, had it on the pipe at the back of my cupboard. I thought I modified my cupboard so they couldn't find it. They come in, found it. I got extra days for that.
What's the charge in the UK prison system?
I think it is called fermenting liquor or
fermenting liquid.
Fermenting liquid. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, I think that's what the nicking's called.
So first offence, what kind of a charge is it?
You don't see, the thing is with nickings, you can get out of them.
Yeah,
like you can get out of nickings very, very easy. They've got a certain time they need to be done in, and witnesses if you can't call your witness, like say for instance your witness goes to another jail.
Yeah,
I want my witness to be produced. I think it might be different now because you've got all you can FaceTime, so you could do FaceTime from one prison to the other or video call. So that probably limits it now. But back in the day, they would ship a prisoner out, and I'd be like, well, that's my witness, so therefore you can't do this, adjudication ain't running. Do you know what I mean? And I've beaten loads of adjudications like that, literally loads and loads.
So in America, it's called disciplinary tickets, and there's minor and major violations.
Madness.
And if you're fighting it, you have to go in front of like a panel of one person, or then I think appeal it, and then 3 people.
Like a miniature court case.
Yeah. So you have to do all that.
Yeah, you get all of that in jail. Same thing where you stand at a long table, like the table. The last nickings I had, the table's done in like a T shape. So the T end will be up the top where the 3 governors are, or sorry, the 1 governor, and then you'll be sat down this end, and the table's it's made this way so you can't jump over and get him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you'll have a screw there and a screw here.
And they're condescending bastards, aren't they?
Yeah, they're dickheads. Some of them are. Do you know, I've rated the good ones. There's some good screws out there, and they're like us lot, But then you get ones that hate prisoners, and it's like, why do you do this job, man?
Yeah.
If you hate us, why the fuck are you coming here? You know, because you do get them. Like I've had murders with screws, man, and I've been absolutely. The last time I had a good, I thought it was funny. Yeah, I'll tell you what happened. And my missus come to visit me. It was on my last sentence. This is when I was going off one, And I think I told you about this one. But I'm on the visit. I'm on basic, because I'm getting in trouble and getting into fights. And I can't accept that I'm in prison because I'm in jail for nothing. So I'm in jail. I'm on basic for a little while now. And then I end up going on a visit. Now I'm on the visit. And because I'm on basic, they're trying to give me I think it was a 30-minute visit or an hour visit. It was short, like half of the normal visiting time. And I didn't know this. Had I had known this, I wouldn't have asked my missus to drive 4 hours to come and see me, yeah? And anyway, I'm there on the visit, and these 2 horrible fat birds, yeah? They're the most horriblest screws I've ever met. By far, they're just horrible. They're nasty people. They don't like prisoners, yeah? Anyway, I'm on the visit. She's come over to my missus, and my missus is pure. Don't touch my bird, innit? Don't even fucking come near her, because I don't care. I will go into one, yeah? Anyway, they're coming over to me, Robert, your visit's finished. And I'm like, fuck off. Fuck off. What are you going to do? I'm in a visiting hall with 300 people. You ain't jumping on me here, so bounce, innit, yeah? But she kept coming over, kept saying it. And in the end, I was aggressive. And she tried to come towards my missus and put her hand on my bird. And I told her, I said, listen, mate, you fucking put your hand on her and you'll get it, innit, yeah? That's exactly right, because you don't touch my missus. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
Was
might
your kids there as well on that one?
No, it was just my bird, innit? It was just my missus at the time. And next thing, the govs come over. They've called they pressed the bell, innit? So next thing, you've got like 20 screws just over there. And my missus is like, babes, just fucking give it in. Just go back to your wing. I'm all right. Look, I don't care. I'll come and see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But I'm like, nah, you've drove here all this hour. I know, and I've missed you. I want to see you, and I'm not having these people do this to me, yeah? So anyway, she's convinced me. She's like, go on, just go back in, babes. And I was like, all right, cool, no problem. And I laugh about this to this day. I'll never forget this, because the screw, anyway. So
Has he put his mic over his face? He just raised it.
did I?
Yeah.
But imagine this, yeah? I'll tell you this, though, yeah? I've said, fuck it, go on in.
It needs to be down a little bit.
Tiny bit.
Yeah, just push it down a little bit.
There you go. That better?
Yeah.
So I get excited. So yeah, basically I've said, all right then, sweet, I'll go back. Yeah. So anyway, I'll go into as soon as I come out of the visiting room, you go in High Point, you've got the visiting hall here, you've got the canteen there. So you go through it's like a little Z shape, and then you go into the strip room. So I've gone into the strip room. Now I know that it's going to happen. I know that these are going to jump on me, because one, I've just humiliated these 2 fat chicks and told them how much their breath smells and all that. Yeah, it was horrible to them, but it was horrible to me. Yeah. So anyway, that's happened. So I've gone into the strip room, and I'm standing there, and I've just seen this arm. I've seen this arm here. So I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to drop me, yeah? Try and get me while he's behind me. So I've seen his arm, but I've ducked his arm, and I've turned around, and I'm standing there looking at him. Now he's tried to grab me, missed me, and fell on his ass. This is the screw, yeah? So I've looked down at him. I was like, what are you fucking doing down there, you wally? You know what I mean? Something along them lines. Next thing, I've been jumped on by all the other guys who've got me, and they've got me down on the floor. And the same geezer that tried to choke me out the first time and missed and fell on his ass, he's jumped on me and started boxing me in my boat. Yeah, so I've ended up getting black eyes and all that. So, but it didn't end there though, yeah? Because they're like, in High Point, I was on A-Wing at the time. So you've got A-Wing, and the visiting hall is a good mile away. It's a massive prison. So they're doing CNR now, control and restraint, yeah? And I'm fighting. So you've got a good 6 big geezers. They're trying to like wrap me up and carry me. So I'm fighting with them. So they're having to pick me up, drop me, pick me up, drop me, pick me up, drop me. You know, and that's what's going on this whole way. Anyway, we get to my wing, and they're all covered in sweat. They're sweating like mad. And I'm laughing at them, but I'm not, obviously they're hurting me, innit? So, but at this time I've had my phone. I had my phone in my arse, yeah? Because, you know, it's the only place you can have it, innit?
Yeah.
So I've had my phone up my arse, and they've come in to spin my cell now. So I'm outside in my cell. I'm outside, arms up my back. I've got the screws holding me. And there was this gov. I'm not going to say his name, but I broke his wrist, and he deserved it because he fucking broke mine. I think I broke his first. Sorry, mate. I think he broke his first. I'm not too sure how it happened, but I know this is what happened. Yeah, I've got my phone up my arse, and I'm thinking they're taking my radios and stuff out of my cell, and I'm thinking my charger. It's my charger. You've already got my telly. Now you're taking my radio. Now my radio is, I'm charging my phone with my radio. So taking my radio is a big no-no to me, yeah? So that's it. I started fighting. So you can imagine this. I'm fighting with all the govs around me. I've been carried from the wing. So all these govs are, they're all out of breath. They're all sweaty and fucking pissed off with me because I've made them work for it now, yeah? Because rightly so, they fucking spoiled my visits. So now I'm going to make them work for this, yeah? So anyway, they're ripping all the shit out of my cell, making my cell just empty. So I've realised they've taken my stuff. I've gone berserk. So now I'm twisting my legs around their legs and I'm dropping them and I'm trying to fight. They're trying to get me on the floor, but I'm fighting. So next thing, I've wrapped my leg around, we'll call him Mr. We'll just call him Gov, innit? Yeah, keep it like that, yeah. So anyway, I've got this Gov, I've dropped him and he's gone down and his wrist snapped, yeah. So what they've done to me, is they've done exactly the same thing to me, but they've got me on my face now, and then they've got the handcuffs, and then he put his knee on it, and they fucking done my hand, and the scream I let out, mate. Because I don't know what it was. It was, I don't know, it was a nerve or something, but it fucking hurt. It hurt, mate. I couldn't feel my fingers. I had big black eyes. But that's jail, isn't it?
How do you charge your phone through your radio?
Well, there's loads of ways of charging it. You can use your TV. You can use just a normal adapter where you just basically, if you ain't got a phone piece that goes into your phone, as in the charger bit that clips into it, because I'm very technical. I can fix phones, and I used to fix the boys' phones for them. Like when they break it, I take it apart, solder bits onto it, and fix them. Have speakers coming out here and aerial that run all the way around your cell and come out your window. It's fucking funny though, honestly. But I used to charge the phone, I used to use my radio. Yeah, I'd have like how did I do it now? For my radio, I had it like a plug. Yeah, it was like, you got the plug that goes into it here. So I'd have the wire wrapped around that end, yeah, which would be the bit that goes into the stereo. And then I'd have another wire from there. I think it was the negative that would come around, and that, to keep it discreet so no one could see nothing, yeah. And so I could use my phone. I'd have like a thin one strand of wire. So you can imagine this, yeah. My TV was over that end of the cell, and my bed is over this end of the cell. So all my plugs and all my stuff would be over there. So I'd have to run the wire. So what I did, my TV was the best charger, and I'll tell you how this is, yeah. With the new tellies they've got in prison, you've got they're all see-through.
Clear tech, that's what we have. Yeah.
So the best way around that, yeah, is get the paperclip. Because it's metal, it takes electricity runs through it. So I would heat up my paperclip, yeah, and I'd burn it, and I'd put a hole straight through the plastic. I can't remember the name of the thing. I'd have to see it, the one that it goes to. But then I'd put my my metal paperclip would go through the telly onto the actual board. I think it was something 14, the red one, yeah. And then I'd have the earth, yes, the negative would then come from the aerial. So I'd have that bit of metal going through the TV, and this is the thing, the govs couldn't see it. So when you weren't using it, you just pull out the bit of metal. Even if they spin your cell and they're looking at the telly, there's no damage, so they can't see, so you can't get nicked.
Yeah.
And I just charge it like that, man. But a lot of places we've got plugs in there now, so we just use proper chargers, like wall chargers.
Yeah.
TVs and all that, they break your phones. Like when you've got these made up chargers, like using your telly and all that, it blows the batteries on the phones. Yeah. So
like getting one of these cheap Chinese chargers.
Yeah, the CZ longs and all them mad phones.
So you actually drank 5 litres of hooch and attacked a guard?
Yeah, well, no, I'll tell you what happened. I was in jail, and I was in jail with my co-defendant, and we'd been making this hooch. We'd only been in jail a little while, so we're still like got the outside mentality, and we're drinking. Anyway, we're making this hooch, and we got pissed one night in the cell. Absolutely smashed, yeah. And it's boredom. You know what it's like. I'm sure you've been hammered in jail a few times, you know what I mean? So we're in the jail cell now, and we've absolutely wrecked. We're literally wrecked. So we're hungover the next morning. This gov, I remember him, he was a Polish squeezer, yeah? But he was an arsehole. And he used to fucking beat up prisoners a lot. He was forever beating prisoners up, yeah? So anyway, we've got on it the night before. So we're dying the next day. Hooch makes your guts feel horrible.
Get the shits and everything.
You know what I mean? So we're not feeling positive, feeling like we're dying the next day. So next thing they were doing like, I don't know if they do it in the States, but in England, they do like a cell check to see how much stuff you've got. Like if you've got prison issue clothing, you're not allowed too much towels, you're not allowed too much pillows.
Yeah, and they take all your excess stuff, it's contraband.
Yeah, that's right. So they've done exactly that, yeah. But this governor's come into the cell, the doors bust open, he's coming like, started ripping stuff off our fucking side, yeah. Now we've only been in jail no more than a month. So we have absolutely give no fucks if this guy, he could be anybody, we're going to treat him exactly how we would, you know what I mean? So he's come in the cell, started giving it, pulling shit off. So we've jumped off, he's gone for my brother. So me and my brother-in-law just fucking tucked him in the cell, like literally smacked him up in the cell. He's done the same thing. to some other geezers, ended up folding him up and putting him under the bed. He got put under the bed. Oh, it's hilarious, man. And that was in Wandsworth.
He didn't learn his lesson.
He didn't know, but do you know what the maddest thing about it? We've had this mad fight with the govs. The whistle's gone. All these screws have come. We've both been carted off to the block. My brother-in-law's been taken to the block. I've been taken to the block. And then the number one governor from the jail comes over to us and he's like, look, what happened? But because another officer seen him start it first, he started swinging first. So it's self-defense, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the gov was like, look, I'm really sorry about this. And let us go. But they didn't let us go back to that wing. They ended up putting us onto A wing. I think it was A wing. Yeah, it was A wing. Yeah, because that happened on B wing. And then we went to A wing and then we've seen all our other powers.
What was A wing like?
Busy. It's just a busy wing. Lots of faces. It's just Wano is a busy gaff, isn't it? Like, but it's a lot of lockup. Like you're either doing education or you're in the workshops or you're just in your cell all day. You know what I mean? But I was quite fortunate because I'm known in that jail. Like when the first time I went to Wandsworth, I had a trouble with this known gov. Yeah, we'll call him Bullet. Yeah, head, because he looks like he's been shot in the head, mate. Honestly, I kid you not. He's got this big thing at the back of his head, yeah, and he was a dog at first. And I was only 21 when I first went there, yeah. So I was a young, cocky guy. It was the first time I went in for the banks, yeah. And then I remember running down the queue and all that, and he wanted to give it to me. I knew he wanted to fucking hurt me, and that's how they were back then. But I remember, like, I went to court one time, had a mad fight with the govs in court. So this is mental, mate. I've gone to court. And this is when his relationship, mine and his relationship changed from being him thinking that I was just a little prick to thinking actually this bread's all right. And I think this happened from what happened in court. I've gone to court because I smashed the jailer over the head with the chair years ago when I was 16 in the same court. I go to the court and they're all still working there, innit? Do you know what I mean? They're all still working there. They're still working in the same court. But I'm like, yeah, watch, come near me again. I'll do it to you again. Because that's what I was like, stupid. I'll say stupid and wild, innit? Yeah. So I've gone into the court and they want to send me to Wandsworth. And I'm like, I've just come from Scrubs. So all my property's in Scrubs. And I'm like, I don't want to go to Wano. I've been locked out of Scrubs. My visits are there. It's easy for me to, like, my visitors to come to me. Plus I've left all my stuff in my cell. So I haven't even bought none of my toiletries, none of my letters, nothing at all, absolutely nothing. So I'm like, I don't want to go Wano. Like, fuck you, I'm not getting on your bus. That's exactly what I said to him, yeah? So what I've done, I've gone, let me use the toilet. They've gone, all right, sweet, go on, Roberts, use the toilet. So I've gone into the toilet, yeah? And you know the hand wash?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I did, yeah? This is hilarious, man. So anyway, I've stood at the back of the cell and I've got the hand wash and I put it all over the floor. Yeah, so now when they come in, they're going to be sliding everywhere, yeah? And I used to do this all the time. I used to piss the covers off, I'll tell you in a minute, yeah? So I'm in the back of the cell and I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. Come in and get me. So they did. They come in and we've had a mad fight in Brent Magistrates Court in the cells. They've carried me out of the cells, slipping everywhere, put me in the van. I've then having a fight with them in the van. I'm getting clamped by one screw. They've got my legs. I'm like a pencil going into this van, man. And the hiding I got for it, but they've put the cuffs on me, yeah, and they've proper done them tight, yeah. And my arms behind my back and my hands I can't feel my hands. Imagine going from Brent Magistrates to Wandsworth. That's a good hour drive. London traffic. Heavy traffic. So I'm sat in the back of the van. My arms are behind my back. I've got handcuffs on. My hands I can't feel because they've done them double tight, you know, to fucking get me. Because obviously they're pissed. They want to go home. I've kept them in the cells. See, this is what it is. If you fuck them over, yeah, like me, everyone likes to go home early. I want to go home early. If I'm at work and everyone wants to go home early. So I'm like, I'm going to prison. You're not going home early. And that was my attitude on it. Like, you're keeping me here so you can stay with me a little bit longer, yeah? And that was the attitude I had. But, yeah, so after all that fucking madness in the cell, they've got the right hump. So they've fucked me up, put me in the bus. I've ended up going to Wano. But this same guy, the bullet head, yeah? He thinks I'm a little div anyway, yeah? But after he's seen the state of me, I've got my neck's all black and blue here. I'm cuffed up and all that. And he's like, you're all right, Roberts. Do you know what I mean? And he's like, obviously after that, he took a liking to me. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I've left Wano, got out of jail years later, come back. And this is when I see him bullet head again, yeah? He's a nice guy, man. That's not a disrespect for me. It's just the way I remember him. And anyone that knows him will know exactly who I'm talking about, yeah? Anyway, I get back into Wandsworth now. And I seen him. And I was like, what's happening, Gov? He's gone, fucking hell. What, you used to be one of our undesirables, he used to say. Yeah, that's what he said. You were that undesirables, but I like you, Roberts. You're right, yeah? He says, do you want a job? And I was like, yeah, of course I want a fucking job. He's gone, right. Do you want to be a diversity rep? So I'm thinking, fucking yes, mate. I'll have some of that. You're out all day long. Oh, I'll have that job. But because
What does the diversity rep do?
it's basically like race relations, you know what I mean? Like literally, it was you walk in there, you fill out some forms, help like people come in. Do you feel bullied? Do you feel vulnerable? All of that sort of stuff, yeah. And that was it basically. But the job, because I was back and forth, my mates. Bear in mind, I've got all my codies on the same wing as me, yeah. Plus, I've got except from one, sorry. So I've got all my codies on the wing, and I've got all my other mates on the wing, and I'm the only one that's got a job. It's a privileged job, bear in mind, that I'm out on the wing. So I'm out on the wing and they're like, I need this. And I'm like that. Yeah, I'm getting that from, because obviously they're my mates, innit? If they need something, I'm going to make sure they've got it, yeah? So I'm running around, but they clocked that, innit? So I got sacked, man. I lost the job and went back to being on fucking lockup. But yeah, mad.
So smashing up the blocks and flooding cells.
Yes, yeah, this is Scrubs. No, it weren't. This was... Brixton. See, I've had a few occasions where I've been smashing cells up. Brixton, I'll get onto that one. I'll start with the Swell Side stuff. Right, I was in Swell Side and I think, what was I doing? That was it. We had a protest, another one, yeah. My mate Tommy, there was me, Tommy, and another guy called, I won't mention his first name, I'll mention his second name. Is that all right? Because he's my mate and without the names, the story won't make sense.
Okay.
But his first name, I won't mention. I'll just mention his second name.
Okay.
Right. His name was Muck Roberts. Yeah. My name's Roberts. Yeah. Right? Which is funny, isn't it? Yeah. Which I thought it's hilarious. Yeah. But then I've got my codee. Imagine this. Yeah. I haven't seen my mate for years. He's doing, which I'll tell you about later. And I'm going to try and introduce you to these guys as well, because these guys have got stories, good stories. I'm talking shootouts with police and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Proper dudes. Yeah. So, anyway, yeah, that's it. So Tommy, I've met Tommy, yeah? My mate, I ain't seen him for fucking ages, years, because we've both been in prison. He's doing a 10, I'm doing an 8 at this stage, because I've got a 12, reduced it to 8. So he's on the trip, he's doing his tours or whatever, and then I've seen him in Swellside. So we've linked up, and then we're on the wing, yeah? Now, I'm baking for hooch, innit? So the screws know that I'm fucking hooching it up, yeah? So they are targeting, spinning me all the time. So me and Tommy, we've done it in Tommy's cell, yeah? So what we've done is we removed the toilet and had all the beer behind it, yeah? All the juice behind it, yeah? So we've pulled the toilet out and we've had literally loads of beer. Loads of
what
prison
kind of
hooch.
toilets have you guys got so you can just pull them out?
Now imagine this, yeah? You've got the cell, but you've got like a space. So you've got your cell here. So say you've got your door here, yeah? To the left of your door, you'll have your toilet and your sink will be on the same wall.
Yeah.
But behind that, there's a gap. So there's plumbers can get to the back of your toilet. But the toilet has got a hole, your waste, yeah? So that goes through to the hole at the back. So what we used to do is just take the fucking toilet off, pull the toilet out, and then you can get access to the hole at the back where all the toilet stuff is, yeah? So we just have all our hooch in the back there. So when they're coming and spinning us, like cell searches, they wouldn't actually find it. And even if they did find it, it's not in my cell, so you can't nick me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So... yeah, we call it opening hours, pub time, yeah? So literally, yeah, association would start, always on the weekend, and we'd just get mashed up, man. We'd have all the pubs, the party pub would open. So anyway, we're getting mashed up, yeah? All drinking, playing snooker and all that. And then they started locking us up more. Like we're in a long-term prison, like first stage lifers, yeah? And maybe if I was a lifer, I would have had a different perspective on this, but I knew I was getting out in a matter of years. So I weren't fussed. You know what I'm saying? So at this time anyway, we've decided that we've had enough of this jail. We're like, come on, let's do a barricade. Let's barricade in the association room, yeah? At 7:00 at night. Because now we're going to keep them until 11:00, 12. The Nationals and Tornado squads are going to come for us again, yeah? So I remember this screw, he was just a dickhead, this guy. I don't know what his problem was, but he was like this short ginger geezer, yeah? We used to call him Fat Bastard, yeah? That was his nickname, honestly, because you know that geezer out of Austin Powers? You wee bastard, you know the geezer?
Yeah.
Bastard, yeah? Fat Bastard,
yeah,
isn't
Fat
it? Yeah?
Bastard,
Well, he was the spitting image of him, yeah? So we used to call him Fat Bastard, yeah? But he had lost loads of weight, so he had loads of skin anyway. But this guy was just a nasty guy. He always miserable, never like, you'd ask him to do something like, say, Gov, can you check on the system how much funds I've got? Yeah, I'll be with you in 5 minutes, and you wouldn't see the geezer again until his next shift. And then you'd be like, so all of that, it brings up hostilities on us, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, we've done this big fucking protest thing. We've gone into the association room, and we've put the tables. So now they can't open the door. So now we've got a proper, like, we've got the tables, say these tables here, you've got 3 of them running from that fucking big door all the way to that wall. There's no way they're opening this door. The only way they're going to come through is by smashing out all the windows and coming through the windows. So now they've got negotiators, and we're like, we want out of your jail. We're sick of your jail. Your jail's shit. You're looking us up all the time. Like, you're taking the piss. So all the govs were making up loads of noise. And I remember this number 1 governor's come down. He started screaming at all the govs, and he's like, what do you want? We're like, we want out of here. Your jail is a shithole. You're locking us up all day. Like, it's just bullshit, you know what I mean? So he's like, all right, sweet. Are you going to cooperate? Are you going to come to the block, cash and all that? Fine. I was like, yeah, of course we are. Are you going to move us out of this jail? Because I've had enough of it. And he's like, yeah, right, we'll sort that out. Are you going to go block? I was like, all right, cool. So we've gone to the block. We get to the block, yeah. We're down the block for like 6 weeks. And they're like, just chatting shit. Put us on GOOD, good order or discipline.
Which means what?
Which basically means good order or discipline. And it basically, it's a GOORD. I think it's GOORD. Good order and discipline is what it is, yeah? Where within 72 hours, you have to have certain, they have to do like I forget the fucking procedure now. But it's basically, when you're naughty, you get basic, and then they put you in the block, yeah? And you can get this thing called gooded, as in good order or discipline. And that means basically they've got grounds to keep you in the seg. But then when you're in the seg, they've got to give you certain things like a kettle, flask, radio, things like that, yeah? So they've kept us on good, because that's what it was. But it weren't good, actually. It was fucking shit, innit? But yeah, we was in a block for ages. So they've sent us to Elmley. So we get to Elmley, yeah? And now I'm with McRoberts again. Yeah, my mate. So we call it a mini siege in fucking Swellside. They've moved us over to Elmley 6 weeks later, and we're on the same bus. So we're like, Spud, what's happening, bro? I'm happy to see you. But bear in mind, I've been in a single cell for 1.5 years now, yeah? So they've put us on the first night centre. They're like, do you want to bang up with someone? I'm like, yeah, I'll bang up with my mate. So we get there, I think it was on a Friday we get there. So we're on the first night centre. So me and he's like my best mate. We've been on the wing together for fucking over 1 year. So we're like, yeah, let's bang up together. So we bang up together, and it's like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like, imagine you've been on your own for 1.5 years, and then you get put in a cell with a guy that's actually your pal. So we're having stories. We're talking stories like what we are now, Shaun. And that's exactly what it's like, mate. Honest to God, yeah. So we're there in a cell chatting. And then they're like, and that's on the first night centre in Elmley, yeah? And then they're like, we've got to move on to our wing now. So they're like, right, you're going to go house block 5, I think it was, or house block 6, one of them. But we've gone on to the wing, and in the weekend, for the whole weekend, from Friday to Monday, we were like on the first night centre. So they don't do no moves over the weekend. So we're there now, and they said, right, house block 5, I think we went to, or house block 6. It's definitely one of them. But we've gone there, and we've got onto the wing, and we've seen all our pals again. We've got some weed. So we're sitting in, like, we're on our telly, yeah, because we've got no TV in our cell. And we've gone to the gov. The gov's like, he's like, you ain't allowed to bang up. So I'm like, mate, are you fucking taking us for idiots, mate? Have you not realised we're not having this? You're not telling us what we're doing. We're telling you. Well, you know it doesn't work like that in jail. You can't tell the govs what you're doing. It works the other way, yeah? So anyway, we've gone for the TV. They're saying, nope, you're not getting no telly. Furthermore, you're both on basic, and you're not allowed to share a cell because of obviously what happened the last time. Now our security file's being read. They don't want Roberts and McRoberts together, innit? Yeah? So this is the joke of it, though, yeah? So we're like, all right, then we're going to the block. And we've stayed out all day, yeah? So now we've bang up time. It's coming up to night time, getting your dinner, you've got to go to bed. So I'm saying to the gov, we're not banging up, innit? I'm not banging up. I'm not having your shit. You're in a fucking shitty jail, mate. I'm not having this. I'll do what I want to do. I want my telly. He's like, you're not having your telly and you're banging up. I was like, all right, I'll be down the block. I'm going to the block today. You know that, innit, gov? That's what I'm saying to him. He's like, listen, mate, you're not in Swellside. You're in Elmley. Well, mate, Elmley is just another jail. They're all the same, aren't they? You know? So I'm like, all right, cool. So I banged up, got my weed off my mates. I've gone into the cell. And me and my pal are sitting there, we're smoking a joint, yeah. And we're like, should we smash the gaff up? And we're like, we know where we're going with this, innit? Now we're going to go and we're just going to smash it up because that's the mentality we have now. So we're like, yeah, fuck it, why not? So we leave it to about 11 o'clock. We make sure that all the screws have gone home. And now they've only got the night team there, yeah, which is Oscar 1, which would be the number 1 guy that's in charge of the jail at that time. And there'll be like a skeleton team on there. There won't be many govs there. So we're like, yeah, we'll do it late because then that's going to fuck them. That's going to piss them off, innit? They're going to have to get us out of this cell, yeah? So we're like, all right, cool. All the cell is wood. So the bed, I never had a cell like this before. Normally they're metal beds, aren't they? So we're in the cell now and we started dismantling the cell, yeah? So we've put the cover up, covered the flap on the door so they can't see what we're doing, but we've not made no noise. Normally you'd hear crash, bang, smash, everyone smash. We didn't do it like that. We ripped the cell to pieces, yeah, but really quietly. We flat packed the whole lot, yeah. So literally, I'm not kidding. This is the funniest thing about it. The gloves come and banged on the door, like what was it? I think it was roll check. They've come and knocked up the door. It's between 9 and 11. It's around that time, yeah. Roll check. So he's banging on the door. Obviously, the flap's covered. Cell stinks of bud, yeah, weed, yeah. So the next thing. We've pulled the thing down and the cell is completely flattened. So you've got everything that was there. Normally cupboards, bed, sink, everything's nicely packed up against the wall. Yeah. And the govs come and I said, I told you we're going to the block. And he's like, no, you ain't. He said, you're going to stay in there all night. So I was like, all right, cool. So next thing, there's no way they're leaving me in this cell. Yeah. And number one, I'm not sleeping on this floor. You know what I mean? The fucking cell is absolutely in bits now. Yeah. So I've then got the wood and I put it straight through the window of the cell door, you know, the panel. So now I'm launching out bits of wood that are going out my window over the balcony and crashing down onto the floor.
Wow.
So then they've all come back to the window, the govs, and they're all just chatting shit through the door. And I was like, look, we told you this was going to happen, innit? You took the piss with us. One, you won't give us our telly. When you go to a new jail, you get a fresh start. As in, you're off basic. You get like, so it's not, you know, like if you keep like, you know, when you're on a report or something, you go to a new jail, they normally give you a fresh start. Look, the past is the past. We'll make a fresh start. We'll put you back on standard, Roberts, and you can just behave yourself now. Well, that's how it normally goes, yeah. But they weren't having it. They were like, they wanted to punish us for the shit that happened ages ago. And I was in the block for 6 weeks in that other jail. So then that's happened. End up smashing up the gaff, putting it all out through the window. Now I know the Mufti squad are coming. So I know they're coming now. So we're like, all right, cool. So we've tied up the bed sheets, yeah, onto a piece of wood, threw that out the window. So that's gone out of the window, which is then tied onto the other bit of wood. So now that bit of wood is going over the banisters because you've got the cell door here, like your corridor and the banister. So you've got the wood gone over that's attached to a big fucking green sheet, yeah, which is attached to another piece of wood that's going through my door. So they can't just come in. I know when they're coming. It's not going to be sudden. You know what I mean? There's going to be, I'm going to hear them falling over bits of wood and all that. So they've come to the door and they're like, are you going to comply? Or are we going to have to come in and do whatever? And I was like, obviously, the aim goal here is to tell you that I'm going to the block. You know what I mean? That was the only point I wanted to prove. Plus, I didn't know anyone in this jail. I wanted to chill with my pal. And I just didn't care about these govs and their rules, innit? So, yeah, I smashed up the block. I smashed up the thing, gone down to the block. So they put me in the block now. And I'm in the block and I'm in Elmley block for like, I don't know, 3 weeks, something like that. And I just started smashing up their blocks in there as well, kicking the sinks off and all that. And it's just got repetitive. And then they sent me back to, I went to Elmley. I got sent from Elmley to Dovegate, and then and I was in Dovegate for, I think, about 14 months, man.
So in America, they can charge you with destruction of county property.
Yeah, they do it here now.
Oh, they do?
Apparently so.
Right.
Apparently so.
You could have got more time.
Well, what they do, from my memory, what they do is the joke of it, yeah, is if you smash up the cell, they charge you. Like now, a shitty cupboard, like would cost maybe 20 quid outside, maybe just say 50 for argument's sake, yeah, 50 quid, yeah. They'll charge you 70 quid and they'll take all your fucking money out of your canteen. So even if your family sent you in 20 quid, they're taking that 20 quid, mate.
Oh, I mean, is they charge you criminally with
Oh, and you get-
destruction of county property,
Wow,
and you get
I've never-
more time
more
added
time.
on.
Wow,
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
have that, thank God. But to be fair, I bust all them nickings. I beat them all. I beat the flat packing of the cell.
Yeah.
When we flat packed the whole cell, I bust that case because McRoberts, my mate, he's ended up getting shipped out to, I think it was, I don't know what jail he went to, but I remember I went back to Swellside, and then from Swellside I got sent to Dovegate. So, but because we weren't in the same prison, I couldn't call him as a witness. He said that I smashed it up. This is the agreement that we had in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't prove who broke what. Yeah. So if you say I did it and I say you did it and we're not in the same jail, then they can't fucking say who did it.
Yeah.
You could, like, mate, I was sat in the corner while he broke the whole cell to pieces, mate. Prove it that I didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we beat that case as well, which was good because I was going to get 42 extra days for that, which would have been over a month, and that would have hurt
Wow.
just for flat packing.
Yeah. Wow. Next one is getting caught on the phone at Christmas drunk
yeah.
and offering the guard a drink.
Yeah. This is the funny one, man. Christmas Day, yeah, not last Christmas, sorry, when was that? Because I got out of prison after the recalls and all that. I got out in 2018, was the last time I was actually in prison. I got my big sentence finished at 2:15, then all that bollocks happened with the police and all that, and then I'm going back. On that Christmas, I remember my granddad, this is so depressing, man. My granddad died while I was in jail, yeah. And I was highly getting off my nut. Properly getting off my nut, and
like on hooch or spice.
I was blazing weed. I smoked spice. I fucking drink hooch. You know what I mean? But at that time in my life, Shaun, if I didn't do them things, I'll be honest with you, mate. I don't think I'd be sat here now. And and obviously I feel embarrassed the fact that I even smoked some of them drugs. You know what I mean? But that was my coping mechanism at that particular time. I needed to get high, because if I didn't get high, then I would have fucking ended up dying. I would have killed myself.
You got to do to get through it.
And that's right. You know what I mean? And I tell you that that was a mad part of that was a mad sentence in jail, that one there. But going back to the hooch thing with the govs and all that, what I've done Christmas Day, yeah, and all the boys on my land will remember this, yeah, because for literally 2 weeks prior to Christmas, I had a big box of hooch, yeah, and I'm not kidding, it was massive. There must have been 30 litres in this. It was absolutely huge, mate. So Christmas Day, I've pulled out the hooch, yeah, I've opened the bags, and I've dragged the hooch out onto the landing, and I'm like, come on, boys. Come on, lads, it's party time. Get in there. And I'm like giving boys fucking cups of hooch. You know what I mean? And that's what it was. Like, literally, the half of the wing, they're like, and it's only 10 o'clock. I'm like, mate, I don't care. It's Christmas Day. I need to be buzzing. You know what I'm saying? But prior to that, my granddad died. So they've called me to hospital. They said to me, I've got the chaplains, he's come see me. And I knew what was going on anyway, because I had a mobile, you know. I knew my granddad was poorly for a little while, yeah. And they were like, my mum phoned me. She's like, fucking granddad's real ill, innit? Yeah. So I was like, I kind of expected it to happen. So the chaplaincies called me. They're like, listen, we've got to get you down to the hospital. Your granddad's on he's got 24 hours to live. So we're like, all right, cool. We got to the hospital. And my granddad had Alzheimer's and dementia. And he remembered me. Out of everyone else, he remembered me, you know what I mean? Which that's a nice feeling. I love my granddad, he's a good man. But yeah, that fucked my head up. You know what I mean? It messed my head up. And then he died on the 10th, I believe.
What's the procedure then to go out to the hospital like that?
It was weird, man, because I've never lost anyone family-wise whilst being in custody. So it was weird because they've literally just come and got me. They said, listen, your granddad's dying. We've got to bring you to see him. He's on his deathbed. So we was like, okay, cool. Well, let's go down there. So we went to done the normal cells. You know, where you come out.
So you all like chained up and shit?
No, just because at this stage I was only a CCAT prisoner. And because I didn't get a big sentence, I only got, I think it was 20-something months for the ramming of the police and all that. And a lot of it was concurrent. But because I was only a CCAT prisoner, it's only one cuff.
Yeah.
So the lady and the guy that took me, they were lovely guys. I'm not going to lie. They were nice screws, man. Had they been arseholes, we'd have been fighting because I felt that, you know, when he died, like when I was in the hospital, I'm trying to say goodbye to my granddad and I'm like handcuffed to a fucking stranger. Do you know what I mean? And obviously trying to speak to my mum, trying to not be emotional because I'm trying to be strong for them, even though that this legend in front of me is dying. You know what I'm saying? And that fucking destroyed me. So that happened. He's died. I get told that I'm going to be allowed to go to the funeral. So I'm thinking, I got to see him on his deathbed, and now I get to go to the funeral and say goodbye to him. But someone phoned up the prison and lied and said that I was planning to escape. Yeah.
Oh man.
This is no joke, mate. This is no joke. This is what the governor said to me. So they've called me. They said, Roberts, come down to reception, get your suit on, innit? So I'm like, wicked. Gone to the office, sorry, got my suit, gone to my cell, gone around all the boys, got some aftershave, making myself look fresh, innit? I wanna look respectable when I go to this legend's funeral. So they come to me and they said to me, I'm waiting now, I'm pacing my cell, I'm in a suit, just like you are now, yeah? So I'm pacing the cell and I'm thinking, rest, like, I'm phoning my mum, I'm like, Mum, what's going on? She's like, the priest knows you'll come in, Father Terry, our local priest from Kilburn. He knows you'll come in, everyone's aware. We've got you a place here so people could put the bag over you, the blanket over you so no one can see your handcuffs. It was all ready. And then someone phoned up the jail and said I was planning to escape. And this is why I went mad in there, yeah, because I was like, mate, I'm getting out. The parole board's already said he's eligible for parole. We're all of us are saying that this man shouldn't be in custody no more. We can deal with him in the community, yeah? So if you're saying that, why the fuck are you believing a phone call when I know I'm going to be out within 2 weeks? You're not letting me go to the funeral. So I had to deal with that. I've got dressed, I've psyched up, ready to go to my granddad's funeral. Emotionally, I'm fucking draining. You know, I'm hurting inside, man. So that's happened and it has just blew my mind. So I started getting off the nut again. You know what I mean? Drinking, fucking mad. And that is literally how it was, mate. And
do you think they just made it up because they were fucking pissed at you for some reason?
I think so, you know. Imagine this, yeah, Shaun. My record, yeah, it was really bad, man. Like, I was very angry. When I was in prison the last time, yeah, I couldn't accept that I was in jail.
Yeah.
When I got done for the robberies and the banks back in the day, and I got my sentences, I was happy with them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I was happy, but I was content, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wasn't sitting in my cell thinking, oh, I can't do this, blah, all that bullshit. It was none of that. I was okay with it. But then when I got my last sentence, I weren't okay with it. My mind weren't okay with it. My soul and my energy was not okay with being in prison because normally I'd go to jail for committing crime that I've wanted to do. And I'm in jail now for people that, and that's why I found it so hard. And then with all the shit that happened, and the drinking, the partying, all that, it all gets up on you, doesn't it?
So what happened when you broke out of visitation at Scrubs?
Right, now this is a funny one, mate. Honest to God, this I'll never forget this as long as I live, and I don't think anybody that was in that prison at that particular time will forget this either. And I'm not saying this is good because it's not good, because at that time I was mentally ill. I was mentally ill, and no doubt about that. So you could imagine this, yeah. You got this guy. He's if a few viewers watch the first podcast, they'll see the story from when attacking police with the car, ramming police cars, attacking the guy with the hammer, getting arrested for attempted murder.
Attempted murder on a cop.
Yeah, attempted murder on the yard bill and all that. That shit there right now. So I've been nicked for the attempted murders. So I'm going to prison now. Yeah. So I get to jail and I'm taking drugs because I need to take drugs. Because if I don't take drugs, I don't know what's going to happen. So I take the drugs. Anyway, I get one of my mates to bring me drugs into the prison. So I've got the drugs coming in the prison now. And it's like they knew that this was happening. It was so it was weird because in Scrubs, yeah, you've got the rows of seats. Before, you used to walk up the stairs and there'd be like a little square room that the visitors would stay in that room. And then they'd let the people out the room and then they would go to the chairs and we'd be sat there. But on this particular day, my visitors come up and my whole row is empty. Like my whole row, and I'm talking 30 plus chairs, are empty. The 2 rows beside me are full. So it's like they sort of knew what was happening. This is why I think my phone was still bugged from when I got arrested and all that, because that's what they do. They tap you know what it's about. They tap your cars, your phones and all that crap. I believe my phones were being listened into because when I spoke about this thing going on the phone, I've gone to my visit. The whole row is empty, which I believe is good for their camera system so they could see passing over. But the way this guy's brought the parcel into me, they found it. So I've been taken back to the secure cell now and my visit has been taken off, yeah? Now I'm pacing, like I've gone back into this cell now, and I'm pacing. I'm thinking this bread's getting nicked. This person means a lot to me. Yeah, I don't want this person going to jail for me. Yeah, and that is my mind. That's what's in my head. He's going to go to jail, and it's going to be because of me. So not only am I in jail, he's now in jail, and I just weren't having it. Plus, I wanted my drugs back. Yeah, so I started kicking the fucking door. Yeah, kicking it. Next thing, I booted it, and the door's just gone bursted open. Yeah. And there was this black guy on the other side of the door, yeah. Hated him. Hated this guy. This guy was just a nasty little fucker. So anyway, he's sitting on a chair like this. The door's blown off. Literally, the security door has come off completely. Next thing, he's jumped up. He's like, "Rah!" So I've looked, and I wasn't expecting the door to bust off like this. So I'm like, as soon as the door's gone, the madness has come back. So now I'm like, let's do this. So the door's bust open. I've picked up the guy's chair that he was sitting on, and now I'm running at him with the chair. So he's run through the door. Now he's running into the visiting hall. Now I'm in the visiting hall chasing him with a chair, fucking chasing the govs up and down the visiting hall. So you've got all these visitors are like gobsmacked. You've got this nutter running, chasing govs with chairs saying, I want my fucking parcel back. Next thing, that's been going on for a little bit of time. The bell's gone. And I'm not kidding, there must have been about 40 govs up in this visiting hall. Wow. So I'm there with my chair in scrubs, yeah, swinging my chair at them and all that. Fuck off! I want my parcel. Yeah, there was loads of them. Honest to God, because like I was going mad.
Yeah,
I completely lost the plot, mate. I literally went ballistic, like absolutely savage, mate, and chased them all up around the place. Threw the chair at the gov. The chair's gone, Mr. Gov, gone through the fucking window of the visiting hut where all the visitors are. So you've got loads of visitors, missuses and kids and all that on the other side of the glass. I don't think there was kids there, but there might have been. I'm not going to lie, that's not a good thing, but this is a mentally ill man at this specifically time, not caring about nothing apart from getting off his nut, yeah? So that's happened. I've ended up going down the block. They've basically carried me, battered me, restrained me and all that CNR, took me to the block. And then I stayed there for 3 weeks and I went back on the wing and I was kind of calm then. Calm down a little bit.
Kind of calm.
Yeah, kind of calm down a little bit.
How many sieges were you involved in prison?
Quite a lot. Yeah. I wouldn't say I was a disruptive prisoner the whole time, but when I was going through my my own downtime, I say when I weren't feeling at my best, I'd do mad things, man. Pointless, stupid things, man. Get myself extra days fighting with the govs just for. Because you're angry, innit? You know, like myself, imagine a kettle. Imagine you put the kettle on, yeah? When the kettle's boiled, it turns off. I don't turn off. So I keep boiling. And when I'm in a prison cell and I've got govs that are annoying me or being disrespectful to me or poking me like I'm a fucking dog, saying little sarky comments, you just get up and you have enough and then boom.
Explosion.
Yeah, and that's what happens, man. Yeah. And literally that's exactly what happens to the T.
So you were put on the nut ward at age 16.
Yeah.
Had a fight, E-Man Roberts versus E-Man Dickhead.
Yes, that's right. Basically, when I was a kid, I tried to escape from court, yeah? So I was 16 years of age. I'm in court. I've been remanded in custody because I'm a cocky little div. And then I'm like laughing in court. So these judges, I know what these judges have thought. These judges have thought, let's give him a shock, yeah? Because I'm all boisterous and all that. Anyway, they tried to send me to jail. So I've ended up jumping up, smashing the jailer over the head with a chair, trying to escape from court. So then they've sent me from that court. I've ended up obviously getting battered by the govs, ended up going to prison. So I go to prison, I'm an escapee now, yeah, I'm in stripes. You know, the green and yellow HM prisoner on the shoulder, on the back. And they keep your light on in the cell at night time and they give you like pajamas, take your fork and knife and spoon, or they let you keep your cup and they take your knives and forks and stuff like that and your clothing at night time, yeah? So I'm an escapee now, I'm only 16. And they put me in an E-Man cell. And I was E-Man Roberts. And I would call this other man E-Man Dickhead because I generally can't remember his name, but he was like a fucking nonce, this guy, yeah?
Oh, no.
So imagine this, you've got these little angry kids, yeah, in a row of cells, yeah? They're locked up all the time and they're just mouthing off. And that's what we like, window warring. And we're only kids, so we're shouting shit at each other all day. And there's this other boy, he's an escapee as well, yeah? He's a light-skinned boy, but I don't know where he's from, but me and him don't like each other. I don't like him, he don't like me. yeah, and we're arguing through the windows, constantly through the windows, shouting all sorts of shit at each other. And then on this one particular time, he's turned around and said, Roberts, because I'm talking to my friends, yeah, about my daughter, yeah, or this girl that's pregnant, because I'm hearing she's pregnant and all that, yeah. So I'm talking about my kid and all that, yeah, to my mate that's next door to me. And me and this guy have been abusing each other for fucking weeks, you know what I mean? So next thing, he's turning around and shouting out, hey, Roberts, I'm bashing over your kid, yeah? So I'm like, I'm going to kill you in the morning, mate. You're dead, innit? So what I've done back in the day, I don't know if they have them now, but when I was in juvenile, they had black toilet seats. They're like ceramic kind of plastic. They're like plasticky ceramic, but they're ideal to make weapons out of, yeah? So I broke the top of the toilet seat into like a big fucking, it looked like a fucking ice pick, but it was in the shape of a Christmas tree, literally like that. And at the end, I had a sock wrapped around for the handle, yeah? Because I was going to fucking stab him up, yeah? Anyway, I've come out the cell next morning, crazy. Big fucking tool in my hand. This bray's not come out of his cell, but the govs know what's going on. They've seen me with tools. I've ended up getting wrapped up by the screws. I've ended up getting just normal punishment put back in my cell. So next thing, I've gone to court. So I go to court. I'm in court now, and I've been refused bail again, because that was like the normal, you know, go court, end up getting refused bail. So I've gone back to prison. I've gone back to Feltham. But because of all these mad outbursts that I'm having, trying to kill this prisoner with the thing, because if I'd got him with it, I would have killed him with it. It was literally like half the size of a toilet seat, but it was really fucking dangerous. If you'd kill someone with it, man. So that's happened. They've put me on the nutty wing. So I've come back from court thinking that I'm going back to Curlew. I think it was Curlew wing at the time. And they've gone, nah, mate, you're going to, I can't remember the name of the wing now, but it was the hospital wing. So they've put me on a nutty wing, yeah? So they put me in this wing. I remember it had a camera in the cell, and there was loads of nutters around me, like literally nutters. You people are making cat and dog noises, barking noises, animal noises, mate. Honestly, they're lunatics. This place is fucking crazy, yeah? So I'm only 16 now, yeah? I'm only a little child, innit, yeah? And I've come out the next morning. And
were they adult lunatics?
No, they're like kid lunatics.
Kid lunatics.
Yeah, which is probably worse, isn't it? You know what I mean? So I'm there with all these nutters, and I'm like, I don't like this place, man. I'd rather go back to the wing. I don't care if I'm on basic and I ain't got a telly, but I'd rather be with people that I don't have to fucking keep my eye on 24 hours a day. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I've ended up kicking off with the govs. I've started smashing up my cell again. And they used to bring us food on trays, yeah? So they've got this big tray. I've ended up smashing the trays. It's sharp. So next thing, they've come in on me, yeah? So I'm on the nutty wing now. And this is how, like, when I was talking to, like, Ben Hatchett the other day, yeah, when I was chatting to him, I understand about the beatings they give you in these fucking nutty places, mate. It's very bad, isn't it? And being only 16 years old, I was only a child, a vulnerable child at that, if I would say. Like, I would say I was a vulnerable kid, you know what I mean? Even though I was aggressive. But anyway, they've come into the cell, and this geezer was massive. I was only little. I'm little now. I'm only fucking 5 foot something, you know what I mean? This brayer was big. And he was a horrible shit. It's just a nasty person, yeah? He's come running in my cell and just splattered me up against the wall. You know, with the big shields? You know, the big PVC shields? You know, them big... He's fucking smacking this shield into me. Anyway, they get me on the floor. They break up my arms, put arms up my back. Then they drag me out and they put me into a special cell, yeah? That's got a bed in the middle of the room, and that is it. The bed's like white, hard plastic. Anyway, they strip all my clothes off me. But they carry me to the cell like this, you know, if your arm's up your back like that. And he's got my hand, and he's fucking twisting my hand. So he's got both my arms like this, the gloves have, yeah? They're dragging my feet across the floor. But the way they're carrying, they're making my weight go on my arms. So something snapped in my hand. I don't know what it was. And I lost feeling of my fingers for like 3 months because of that. Yeah. And then
How did you get your feeling back?
It just, in time, it took like about 3 months.
Did you think it was never going to come back?
I never thought I was going to feel my fingers again, man. And I tried to complain
so
to
weird,
the guys.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's horrible, man. And that's happened a few times.
Has it?
Yeah, by Gus, man. It happened when that Owen done it to me.
Go on, yeah.
Yeah, and then fucking that fucker done it. Painful.
So there was a moment where you got slashed in the chest.
Yeah. That was a fucking fight in the showers in Elmley, I believe that was.
Why did the beef come about?
It was just beefing over shit. You know, I'll tell you exactly what it was. Yeah, there was one guy in there. Yeah, that he was what I got told in it. I got told that this guy was a grass, and he had basically he'd grassed his brothers up. Now these are known faces
His
that are in
own
prison.
biological brothers.
Yeah, there was a big thing, Mac 10 shooting. These got sprayed with a Mac 10. They're not all getting 30 years each. So the brother got 30 years, he got 30 fucking years, and someone else got 30 years. It was a proper fucking thing. It was a naughty murder, innit? Yeah. But because it was all involved in, that's why they got big sentences. So he is a known fella in Swellside. I can't say his name or anything, but this guy, my mates were getting parcels off of him because he had a lot of money. You know yourself, people in jail, they don't necessarily get targeted, but people do business with them. Like, just because you're in prison doesn't mean you don't have access to things outside. We have mobile phones so we can make things happen outside, and that is how it was, yeah. But this geezer he financially had money, innit? We had a phone, he never had a phone. So I said to him, put the money in the account and you get the phone, innit, yeah? And he's like, all right, sweet. So now I know he's not right. You're not getting the phone, innit? But he's got money. Yeah, this is the problem. Yeah, so we've knocked him anyway. Basically, he's come, said, you're not getting the phone. You're being bumped, innit, bruv? You're grass, fucking do one, yeah? That's it. Obviously, he hasn't taken that. He's walked away because he had to walk away because, one, he was outnumbered, and two, there was no point in him even engaging in a fight with us because it would have just been pointless for him. He would have got beaten up and it would have just been done. But what he's done is then paid someone. So then, obviously, I'm in the shower. Bray's come in the shower. We've had a fucking tussle. I've ended up getting slashed down my chest. He tried to cut my face, really, is what happened. He tried to open my whole fucking face up.
How'd you block that?
I moved back. I leant back like that and he caught my chest. And I got a big Mars bar that run. It looks like I've had open heart surgery, man. But he caught, yeah, it was naughty, man. He could put my whole fucking fist into my chest, man.
Really?
Yeah, it was bad, mate. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Does the adrenaline keep you fighting?
It does. It's scary though, isn't it? You know, once you see all blood and everything like that, it's fucking. And obviously,
Was he still trying to attack you?
Nah, because we're fighting. We've had a fight. I've been cut. My mate's involved because obviously there's two of us in the shower. There's two of them in the shower. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a straightforward fight.
4 people fighting.
Yeah, we're fighting in the shower. I've ended up being cut. When I seen all the blood that was there, I made it out of there because I don't know if I'm gonna die here now because I've looked down and I've seen a hole in my chest, mate. I'm not kidding. Like, seriously, it was like that long. Literally, it runs all the way down the center of my chest, and I could put my whole fist into my chest. I thought
weird, man. Looking inside yourself, you must.
Yeah,
be like...
I shit myself. Literally, I'm not saying I shit myself physically, but I was like, "Ooh, that's naughty!" And I grabbed my fucking thing. I put it over my chest. I walked down to the office. I said to the guy, I goes, look, I've been stabbed in my chest, mate. And he's like, take your hand away. I said, listen, telling you, if I take my hand away from here, there's going to be claret everywhere, yeah? I'm not taking my hand away. He's like, mate, just sit down. Let me see your chest. I was like, all right, I've done that. And it just was like, it was just coming out, literally.
Was that back close to your heart then or something?
No, it was literally, I would show you. Yeah, it runs right down my chest there.
Yeah,
don't know if you can see that.
Oh, yeah. You
know what I mean? So it runs down there. If it had
There's a lot of blood there, isn't there? Because the heart's near there.
A lot of blood. Yeah, there's a lot of blood, man. And I remember the thing is, because I was in the jail, they didn't take me to the hospital. So they said, right, fucking, they took me straight to the block. Then they took me to see the triage people. And the geezers just sewed me up there and then. And put me on the and then put me in the block. And then I'm getting shipped back to Swellside and then fucking off to Dovegate. Liberties, mate. So I end up with a big Mars bar. But then again, that's what happens in jail. See, the thing is, yeah, it don't matter how bad you are or who you think you are. There's always other people out there desperate enough to take a few quid that will come and cut you up when your fucking back's to them. And that's how it is in prison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People got no money. No one's visiting them. They've got nothing. You know what I mean?
And the beef with the brother then, did you bump into him again?
Who?
The brother was it the phone you took?
No, I've never seen him again. Never seen him again. But he's going to do 30 years. He's doing 30 years. I hope I never see him again. Good luck to the guy. Do you know what I mean? But that's what it is. It's in jail. It's a bad place, isn't it? You've got a lot of bad shit going on. You think you're someone like me. I thought I was Charlie Big Bollocks. I really did. I thought I was like fucking bee's knees.
There's always bigger and badder and
That's,
crazier.
yeah, and that's the thing. I only realised that a bit older. The older I got, the more wise I got. Before, it's the saying I seen the other day, yeah, Shaun, yeah. This geezer said, I seen it on one of the social media things. This guy says it. We all have two lives, yeah. We only realise, or our life changes when we realise that we have one life. And it was this thing that this man said, yeah, and it was like so true, man. When I realised I had one life, that's when I was like, I don't really want to do this bullshit no more, you know what I mean? And that's what it was. It was, I know the stories are fun, and they are funny, some of them, and but it's a lot of pain.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like the pain that I've been through, just sat in prison cells, is immense, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I know the viewers might be thinking, right, this is jokes. Sprayer robs banks, he does all of this mad shit, chases police around, chases cars, smashes into feds, rams them, holds sieges in prison. It sounds crazy. It is crazy. But with all that craziness comes a lot of pain, a lot of fucking suffering, man. You don't go through all of that shit without feeling it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what it is, man. It's madness,
So
literally.
don't get gangsteritis if you're watching this.
Oh, yeah, that's right, man.
So on a lighter note then, you once did a strip tease dance in the dock.
Yeah. But this is the kind of personality I had, yeah. Like, seriously. Like, we've all got nicked, yeah. And I mean, we've all been nicked for the robbery and whatnot. And I've gone to Wimbledon magistrates, man. And I just didn't care. Like, I really didn't care about their system. But at this stage, I didn't have my victims' impact statement, so I didn't even know about. This is while I'm freshly been nicked by a flying squad, gone to Wimbledon magistrates because that's where Barnes take you, and then off to Wandsworth. But we've obviously in the court, and I'm in the court. I've got my visitors there in the court, in the gallery, and all that. So I'm like taking my top off, swinging it around. It's fucking stupidness, like, honestly. But that was to show the judges that I just didn't give a shit, you know what I mean? Which is stupid, man.
So John killed himself on A wing.
Yeah, fucking. I had to move off this.
Who was John?
My mate it was my mate John. It was my friend. It was my neighbour. This is
What was he in for?
He's in jail for, I think it was burglary or something stupid like that. It wasn't a massive. And this is what, imagine this. I was so settled there when I was in that. I was on A wing. I was around all the lifer boys, and then this geezer moved away, and then this guy's moved next door to me. I think he was being bullied. All the Irish boys were bullying him from another wing, and he's come over, and he was a nice guy, man. We'd play poker with us. He'd been on the wing with us for a good while, you know what I mean? And he'd become one of us, if that makes sense. He's on the wing, we're chilling, we play games together, we chat together, shout out the window. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have your own little community on the wing. And then we got off the nut and all that. And then one night, we all banged up like normal. You'd never realise this geezer was going to do this. If I knew he was going to do this, I would have spoke to him all night long, mate. Honest to God, I would rather that than him kill himself, yeah? So then, we've all gone to sleep. Next morning, all the doors have unlocked, bang, bang, bang. And my man's dead. He's hanging out of his light. He's killed himself, man. And I don't know, it rocked me, that did, mate, because I've been on that wing for over a year. Yeah, I'd settled. I was a servery. I was a hot plate worker, so I was giving the food out to the boys and all that. A wing cleaner. So I was comfortable. Everything about that part of that sentence at that time was comfortable. I was playing my poker because you're in scrubs. You've got the big snooker tables. It's like swell side. Sorry, you have full size snooker tables. So I play snooker. It was comfortable. As you know what I mean. You know when you're in prison, it gets
get into your routine.
Yeah,
you got your little clique.
That's right, and it was like that, yeah. And it blew my world, mate, honestly, because he literally fucking killed himself, yeah. And it hurt me. It hurt me. I couldn't understand why the fuck this bro just did this. He only had a year and a bit left, you know what I mean? I remember him talking about he's having problems with his bird and all that. And he killed himself, man. And
did he get Dear John or something?
I have no idea, mate. I have no idea. But I remember.
You never know what's going on in here, do you?
You don't. And that's the thing about prison. You know, long-termers, you don't know what anyone's going through.
Yeah.
Because we don't talk. You only talk to your pals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if your mate's there, like, if I'm having a bad day, I can turn around to my pal and be like, fucking bird, mate. She still ain't answered her phone. You know what I mean? And that's the sort of talk. It wouldn't be like, oh, bruv, like cry on his shoulder, like, don't give me a hug. It don't work like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when John done that to himself, man, it fucking, like, even right now, my heart's like, brrr, I can feel it. It's like
There was no warning signs with this kid.
Nothing at all. He was 21 years old, man.
Oh,
21,
man.
and he hung himself, man. And I remember there was this, right at the time, there were some good govs in the wing, yeah. And I remember this woman, yeah. She was a lovely lady, lovely officer, yeah, really nice. She tried to help all of us, yeah. Just had a nice, good heart, she did, yeah. And I remember her crying, man. I remember her crying. I remember when she was cutting him down. Because she told me, she said, Anthony, Robert, sorry, she didn't call me Anthony. She said, Roberts, I was the one who cut him down. I was like, I know, I heard you crying. And she was like, oh, what have you done? And then she took him down, cut him down, man.
Any other suicides you came across?
My mate, well, I was in boarding school with this boy called Kevin, who was the youngest person to kill himself in Feltham. The youngest, yeah.
Was that a hanging as well?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. Yeah, man. It's just, you know, in prison, it's a common thing, man. When I was in jail, like, especially Swellside and, like, the remand centres, you get a lot of bullying in them places. You get a lot of depression, man. And people, they just wake up one day and they've had enough.
Yeah.
And that is just as way it is. It's just a weird fucking place, man. Literally, you just wake up one day and you're like, pff.
Yeah, and like you said, the drugs can sometimes get you through that, can't they? It's like a pressure valve, isn't it?
It masks it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like the reason why I took drugs was specifically this reason, to stop thinking. That was it.
Yeah.
That was it, to stop thinking, because I could not fucking imagine this. Yeah, I just had my family, man. My baby's here. I've wanted the family all my life. And then the family gets taken away from me all because of jealous people. So at that time, I've gone back to prison. My head was wired, mate, literally.
Yeah. Did we do Christmas time in Brixton?
No, we ain't done that one yet.
Okay.
Yeah, Brixton. Right, this was 2014. I was in Brixton and I was in Dovegate first, yeah. And this is the mad thing about it. Dovegate, yeah, was the therapeutic community, horrible gaff, mad monsters all over the place.
That's what they mixed them. Dovegate.
Yeah, Dovegate, bad, all bad stories, nothing good. And I'd done it for 14 months and I generally couldn't take no more. I was like, I had enough of this place, yeah. Had enough of this nastiness that I was hearing, and my head was like, I can't deal with it. And I got my CCAT, so I was like, why the fuck am I doing this to myself? I only come here to get myself, try to fix myself, get my CCAT and get out of here. Go to a lower cat prison, progress, try get a DCAT. So as soon as I got my CCAT, I'm like, fuck off, I'm out of here. So they moved me from there to the Mount. A whole load of mad shit in the Mount, but I'll get back to that one afterwards because you've got it on the list. So anyway, madness in the Mount, I go to Brixton. I get to Brixton and I'm with all my pals. I'm with all my mates, all my pals are there. So I'm like, I've been away for like 3.5, 4 years now. I'm getting on, my sentence getting longer, so I'm getting out. I've got under a year. I've got gate happiness, yeah. So you know, like that gate fever, you can't stop thinking I'm going home. Yeah, that mad thought, innit? Yeah. So I'm in with the boys now. We're on Brixton and we're all training. We're all pull-ups on the stairs. We're all fucking with the chairs, doing curls and all that, and we're training. And then we've all got phones, yeah. All of us got phones. Everybody's got phones. Some of us have got fucking multiple phones. So you can borrow a phone out or lend it to a pal or stuff like that, sell them, whatever, yeah? So anyway, this geezer's come. He's ended up, Ant, can I borrow the phone? So I'm like, yeah, go on then. But he's bumped me. He tried to knock me, yeah? And his name was Biggs, yeah? This big geezer was humongous, mate. I'm not kidding. He was massive. And the one who does all the food, servery boy. And but his name, I remember, his Asian lad, yeah, and he was fucking massive. He was literally really tall and just a block. He was a big unit, this fella, yeah. And he's had my phone, but I don't care. I want my phone, or we're fucking fighting, mate. And that is just how it is, yeah. But at the time, I've got all of my pals on the wing, so there's 15, 20 of us. He's got all of his pals, so you've got a good 15, 20 vicious robbers, yeah, because that's what we were. Yeah, and that's what my boys were. Yeah, we're all doing the same. Yeah, and then you've got all of his boys, but he's got a lot of boys. I've got a lot of boys. So it's either going to turn into one big fucking fight on the wing where all craziness breaks loose, or have a straightener with him. Now I'm having a straightener because I said it to my pal, yeah. My pal, we'll just call him Mr. Ra, yeah. He's turned around to me, he's like, Ant, come on, man, we've got you, all of us will go and get him, yeah. And I'm like, nah, bro, because if this gets messy and you all get done for a Section 18, you're getting the big bird, innit? Because that's where it's going. We're getting down to that road now, yeah. He's been warned, bring it back by dinner time or it's going to happen, yeah. So he never brought it back at dinner time. So anyway, we've gone up. All my pals are there, all of his pals are there, and it's just gone off. It's gone off on the fucking twos in Brixton on A-Wing. I'm fighting. Brett's blatantly got me. I've gone down. He's on top of me, and where he's a big dude, mate. He's fucking giving it to me. I can put my hands up. So the only thing I can do is put my arms up to stop him from fucking giving it to me. Yeah? So anyway, we've had this fight. All the govs have turned up. My finger got broken it, yeah. So my finger's popped out of the socket, yeah. It's never been the same ever since, my finger, yeah. So the govs have pulled him off of me. I'm over there. He's over there. They've picked me up, and my finger's all broken. So they're like, listen, you're going to the fucking block, but first you're going to the hospital. You've got to get your hands sorted. I was like, all right, cool. So gone hospital, come back from hospital, quickly gone to my cell. No, sorry, I went to my cell first, gone to the hospital. Straight from the hospital, I've gone straight to the seg. And now I'm sitting in the seg. It's coming up to Christmas. So I'm getting agitated. I don't like being in Christmas. I know this is my last Christmas. Yeah, so I'm eager. Yeah, I just can't be sitting down. So anyway, they put me in, they've put me to the block. I was in the block for a couple of days, started breaking cells, yeah. Annoying things like pulling out the light sockets, pouring water into the button, you know. So if your cell ain't got an emergency button, they have to move you out the cell, yeah. So I do annoying things like that, break their cell, so therefore they have to move me to the next one. That means they have a cell down, yeah, which is a torment to them. So I've done that, smashed up that gaff. So they've said to me, do you want to go into Beaming? So I'm like, all right, sweet, I've gone into Beaming, but I didn't know anyone on Beaming. I knew no one at all, yeah. And it was, I think it was a couple of days away from Christmas, and already my record of getting into trouble has started to build. And I'm telling the govs, fuck you. This is my attitude. I'm getting out of jail in 3 months, mate. So do whatever you want, innit? I've already done 4.5 years. You're 3 months, I fucking couldn't care less, innit? Do whatever you want. So that's how I was, innit? Yeah. So anyway, they've done that, put me on Beaming, and I didn't know anyone. I just didn't like the gaff. I was around people that I didn't like. Yeah, I didn't like anyone on that wing at all. There may be a couple of people, but 90% of the people I didn't like. Didn't have no mates there. All my pals were on A-Wing. So I was pissed. I was pissed off, man. I was fuming. So then on this actual day, I've gone to the wing, to come off the wing to do some sort of course or something, yeah? And they're like, nah, you're not coming off the wing. So I was like, all right, cool. So I've picked up the tree and I fucking gave it to the gov. So next thing, I'm smashing the gov with the Christmas tree. I've got this other gov's come over and I'm going wild now. So I've hitting the trees in half, hitting the gov with the tree. Next thing, all these screws have come at me. So I've got a screw on the floor. I'm on top of the screw, and then I've got the other screw on top of me, yeah? So I'm trying to get and I'm screaming out obscenities like, Merry fucking Christmas! Like, fucking nuts, bro. Rockers, mate. Honestly, when I sit and think about it, I was fucking demented, yeah? So I'm screaming out Happy fucking Christmas and all that shit. So anyway, I've been wrapped up. They've folded me up, carted me off to the block. So I'm in the block in Brixton now. And they've put me in a strong box, I think it was called. So I started kicking the corner of it. Like this, so they've got this wall, and it's a slight angle, yeah, and it's like I could see there was cracks of concrete. So I'm kicking the wall, and bits of concrete are coming out of it, like chunks, like that, like proper lumps of it. So I'm now blasting these bits of the concrete at the flap. So now I'm smashing out the flap, yeah. So I'm doing this, and I'm going mad in this fucking concrete box, yeah. Just for fucking ages, going mad. The govs are coming to me. And yeah, that's happened. So they said, you calm now, Roberts. A couple of hours later, I'm like, yeah, I'm sweet now. They said, right, we're going to put you in the cell next door. So I was like, all right, sweet. So, but where I was so volatile, yeah, the govs and I've started breaking up all their cells in the block. So now they've got no spaces. There's only like 2 or 3 cells left in the block here because I've smashed up half of them. Yeah, so it's coming up to Christmas Day now, yeah. And they're saying to me, do you want to go on the wing, Roberts? Like, you don't want to be down the block for Christmas, innit? what it really is, you ain't got enough staff to keep me down the block and all that. So they're like, look, he's going to smash up the block on Christmas Day. We're going to have murders, yeah? So that's exactly what's going to happen, yeah? So they're like, do you want to go on the wing? And I'm like, yeah, sweet, I'll go on the wing. So I'll go onto the wing, I'll go onto G wing. And I've seen loads of people that I knew. So next thing, Hooch has come out again. We started, like, loads of boys they've got the party gear ready before Christmas, innit? So obviously I'm on G wing and I'm off my nut, mate. The screws that I was fighting with 3 days before that, yeah, I've now got my arm around them. I'm like, what's happening, Gav? And I'm partying with them like fucking demented, mate, honestly. So then they've come to me. They say to me, right, you're getting shipped out. And I'm like, all right, but I'm not going until after Christmas. They've come to me, I think it was Christmas Eve. They've come to me, or it was either, I think it was Christmas Eve they've come to me, yeah? And they're like, you're being shipped out. And I'm like, fuck off. I'm having Christmas here. And then I'll go, you know what I mean? And then I'll go. Like, I'm not going before that. I want to, because I'm with a geezer that I know, got mobile phones, got the party started. Yeah, so I don't want to leave now. Yeah, so I want to stay in Brixton up until the end of Christmas. After Christmas Day, I'll go in it. Yeah. So I said to them, look, you can come and we'll smash your gaff up again. I'll smash this cell up, and then I'll go mad until you get me on the van, and I'll just carry on continuing this mad behaviour. Yeah. So they're like, all right, you can have Christmas here, Roberts, and just fucking leave it out. But then you're going to Pentonville because they starred me up now. They've made me a fucking B-cat again. So it took me 3 years to get my C-cat. I get my C-cat for no more than 6 months. Sorry, I held my C-cat for 8 months. And then they started me back up to B-cat again because they had information that I slit an inmate's throat. Yeah, which I didn't. Yeah. I did not slice anyone's throat in prison.
That was in Brixton. You was arrested for slitting an inmate's throat.
Yeah, they said I slit the inmate's throat, which I didn't. And that was their tactic to star me up, you know, to make me, to recategorize me a B-cat.
Had someone's throat been slit?
I don't know. I didn't see anyone's throat being slit, but I know these lot love to lie, didn't they? You know what I mean? And
what happened with the big guy who started all this shit with you?
Nothing. We just had a fight, innit? I got fucking, the one who took the phone? Yeah, we just had a fight, and
Did you get your phone back?
Nah. This is what I mean in jail. It's like
just insanity.
It's madness, mate. Honestly, like phones and all that, and all the madness is over phones. It's always over fucking mobile phones and drugs. That's what happens in prison, or booze and all that. It's always the same sort of shit, man. Yeah, you know what I mean? That shit, you get in debt, then you're in trouble. You have to fucking fight people. So the best thing to do is, if you do go to jail, don't get involved in it. Like, don't take the drugs. I know it's hard not to when you're depressed and people got a lot of things in their mind, you know? And being in prison, it's a horrible environment. It's a fucking soul destroyer, you know what I mean? So some people take the drugs to mask all that up. I get that. I'm not a hypocrite. So I can't say don't do that because I've done it all. But taking drugs in jail and getting involved in the phone culture, the drug culture, what they say, it does cause murders, mate. And a lot of people have got nothing in prison. Like, there's a lot of skint guys in jail. So robbing you for a phone or whatever, it's just one of them things, isn't it?
Especially if they want to get high.
Exactly. Well, look what happened when I was in fucking Pentonville, and I had to fight for my life that time in the cell. And I believe if I hadn't a fight for my life there, mate, my face would be like, fuck it, I'd be in bits, mate.
So for a young person going in this day and age, what prison survival advice would you give them?
For starters, don't do crime, innit? Don't go to jail. That's the best bet.
But if definitely they are going in.
If they're going in, I don't know. Me personally, when I was in jail, I was myself, innit? I'm a happy bloke, innit? Yeah. Normally, I'm a happy guy, innit? And I get on. I'm easy to get on with people, innit? I get on well with everybody unless they're horrible. If you've got an attitude, don't have an attitude, innit? Go into jail and just be easy, innit? But if someone tries it with you, fucking get rid of them as soon as possible. Because if you don't, that's going to cause problems for you.
So keep your ego in check, but show heart if you're called out.
You have to show heart, because if someone's going to try and bully you and you allow them to do that to you, that bully is going to be like, I've got you. So even if you don't want to fight, fucking fight, man up.
And then the rest are going to be lined up at your cell, taking everything if you don't stand up yourself.
That's what happens in prison. Prison's a nasty place, and it's full of fucking sharks, mate. And I'm not kidding. If one person's weak, you will get 10 man on him. And when it comes to him getting his canteen day, you'll have everyone robbing his cunt, and that's not good.
So there's guards' rules and there's prisoners' rules, and they're in conflict. how would a young person navigate that system?
What do you mean by if the govs?
So the guards' rules say you can't do all these things.
Yeah.
The prisoners' rules say you must do these things, and they're in conflict, aren't they? The rules.
It depends on what you want. Now, I've gone through certain parts of my sentence where I've been so focused on getting out, I won't get in trouble. I'll keep my nut down. That's the way to do it. To do prison, the best way to do prison is, my opinion is this: try keep your head down. Don't get involved in shit. Because if you get involved in shit happens. You know what I mean? Drugs causes problems. Mobile phones. You need a phone in jail to talk to your family. The prison phones are a rip-off. They cost a fortune, and it's financially it's not good, innit? You know, so having a mobile phone is important in jail, and I think everyone should have them. Every prisoner should have a mobile phone, except from the rapists and nonsense. They should get nothing. But keep your nut down. Don't get involved in shit that ain't got nothing to do with you. Don't be a bad man. Don't be trying to fucking assert your power because, mate, just because someone's small, don't think they can't come up to you and give it to you. You know what I mean? And this is, you see this regularly. Like, I met this little Irish geezer on my last sentence. He was the most angriest man I've ever met in my life. He was really small, but fiery, but he was a really nice guy. And he used to go mental, mate. And the govs used to leave him alone because they knew this geezer was a pain. You know what I mean? He was small, very aggressive. You know what I mean? But me personally, because I get on with people, I get on with people. I'm a laugh to be around. I do have a cracker joke, and I've got good stories like all the other criminals. You know what I mean? So I get on well in there. But taking drugs will cause problems. That is one thing that will guaranteed cause problems, because it might not be you. You might be selling drugs. Geezer doesn't pay you. You've got to go and do something then, because if you don't go and do him, no one else is going to pay you. And then what are you doing it for? You know, I'm not saying I've ever done that, because I've never sold drugs, never been involved in drug dealing in my life, ever. I used to take them all, to be fair, not sell them. But yeah, just keep your nut down. Don't get involved in bullshit, and just don't tell tales, mate. Keep your ears and your mouth shut.
There was a skinny kid where I was housed, and big fellas used to pick on him.
Yeah.
This kid, fucking hell, man. He knocked so many of them out that they actually shat themselves.
Yeah.
And then the gang leader would come out and when they regained consciousness, just say, clean that shit up. And fucking roll out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's in the States. It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
See, the UK jails are a lot softer than the States, I think. Except from Swellside. Swellside, I saw some mad shit happening there.
Yeah.
Pentonville, the same though. You're seeing people getting stabbed to bits in Pentonville. Like, you'd come out yourself, Shaun, and I swear to God, I remember how it was, yeah? You'd come out and they'd do alternative landings, would have association exercise. So you get your hour exercise, but it'd be the 1s and 3s, 2s and 4s. You come out your cell. Now, when in the morning times, like a lot of your other guests I've seen as well, and they are directly spot on, mate. When you wake up, you be up. You up, you're ready, your trainers are on. As soon as your door's unlocked, you're up. You have to be up, because like other guests that you've had on the show, they said the right thing, mate. A lot of bad shit happens first thing in the morning. You know what I mean? So you got to be up, be ready. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying.
You were giving prison survival advice to a new person.
Yeah, keep your nut down. Best thing. Just keep your nut down.
So keep yourself to yourself, but you also said, like, in situations, you got to have people have your back.
Yeah, but there is that.
And you knew people.
Yeah.
Say someone's going in who doesn't know people, should they make alliances with people?
It depends on the person. Me personally, I'm not a people person specifically, in it, yeah? So I won't specifically go out and make friends with people. Like me, I'm a one-man soldier. I've been like that my whole life, yeah? So I take people for who they are. I get to know them, and if they're my cup of tea and I like them, then I'll chill with them and they'll be my mate. If they're not, then I'll keep them at arm's length. And I do that with everybody. And I do that even outside, you know? It's just using your nut, innit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And obviously being in a prison is very dangerous. So just be mindful. You know what I mean? Be mindful of your surroundings, be mindful of inmates, and be mindful of screws, man.
Oh, that's the other thing, yeah. So, like, basically explain the rules in Arizona right away, you know. Don't go making friends with the guards, because then you're going to get fucking stabbed up for snitching.
That's right.
So don't go fucking being too pally.
That's right, and people look out for that. The prison system's changed a lot since when I was a young offender, and through the young criminal justice system, it's changed massively. When I was younger, it was a bit more relaxed. They seemed to have a bit more structure to the prisons. People were doing education. this time when I went to prison, the last time, 2017 to 2018, it was very, it was a lot of lock-ins, like a lot of bang up, massive amounts of bang up, which makes anybody go mad. Made me angry. So I'd come out and I'd be like ready to go wild, you know. But yeah, me personally, don't commit crime. That's where you won't go to jail. But if you are in jail, keep your nut down. Be mindful of your surroundings and the people that, and do not have it with any nonces. Like if you know there's a nonce on the wing, don't go near them unless you're beating them up. You know what I mean? That's it. And that's the only time I'd encourage someone to hurt someone is if it's a sex offender, because they are not.
Have you got stories of sex offenders getting attacked?
Yes, I've got some stories of battering bacons, we call them. Right, when I was in Scrubs many years ago, over 10 years now. Do you know what it was? Yeah, I was a cocky little shit. Yeah, and I used to be very defiant to the govs in it, and I used to torment them and do things to piss them off. Yeah, because they pissed me off. Yeah, so on this time, I've had a mental health meeting with a doctor. Yeah, and I said to the doctor, just for pure banter, I said I want to smash up one of your govs today. Yeah, because it puts them on alert. They've now got to take extra care and watch Roberts, yeah. So I'm getting my fucking 10 pence out of them, yeah. So anyway, I've said that, and I'm walking down the landing, and the gov's come up to me, and he showed me. He's like, "There is some naughty ones up here, Roberts, yeah." And I was like, "Oh yeah, all right, cool. I'll have some of that." So he's told me where this guy was. He's told me what he was in prison for. So me and my mates, we went up there. One of us had a table leg, yeah, and 3 of us had batteries in socks. 2 of them in each, like, so we've got a battery and a sock, yeah. You know what them? It wasn't a PP9 battery. It was their LR20s, yeah, which are big batteries. They're not the PP9s, but they're big in it. They're as fat as that. They're big anyway, yeah. So I've had 2 in my sock, and my mate, 2 of the other boys have got their 2 in their socks, yeah. And the man's got a table leg, yeah. So this guy was in jail for, let me just tell you what he did, yeah. This guy abused a 5-year-old girl.
Oh.
Apparently he'd raped her and all this. It was a real bad one, yeah. And I get excited thinking about hurting this bro, you know? And not because I think it's good, because I don't think it's good. The reason why I enjoyed hurting him was because I got abused my whole fucking life, and hurting this one guy made me feel good. And it was a good day in jail. But we've gone in on him, and I remember it, yeah. He was getting his hair cut. He was having his hair cut, yeah, and he was due to go to court the next day. So this is the last day we're going to be able to get this guy, yeah. So he's had his hair cut. This brer wouldn't go in the showers, yeah, because he was aware he's in danger if he goes in the showers, yeah. So he's had his hair cut. He's gone to his cell, and he's in his cell washing his hair in the sink. So we've gone in, yeah, and I've got my mask on. I've got a pillowcase. Yeah, a green pillowcase with the eyes cut out and bits around here, yeah. So all of us are masked up. We're going to get this brer now, yeah, because one of the govs told us who he is and what he is and how bad his offence is, yeah. So we've gone in on the cell now, and we've just fucking gave it to him. I remember opening the door, and he's looked at me, he's gone, "What?" And I hit him right at the top of his coconut, yeah. And we just all battered him, and we battered him. We really gave it to him, yeah. And I hit him so many times with the batteries in the sock that my sock ripped and my batteries have come out. So I'm trying to move them boys out the way. They're battering the shit out of him while I'm trying to find my batteries, because my batteries have got my fingerprints on them. And they're going to use this same, they will treat you the same in jail as they will outside. So you'll still get the same amount of bird. So I don't want to get arrested for this, obviously, yeah. No physical evidence anyway. Like, you know what I mean? Blood, DNA, all of that sort of shit. So anyway, we fucking broke him up, mate. He's literally left him in a cell in a mess. Yeah, real mess. Walked out the cell, and the gov seen me. Another gov, there was an Asian gov, yeah, and he was a dickhead, this gov, yeah, but he was understandable. Let's just put it that way, yeah. So anyway, I've walked out the cell. The second I've walked out the cell, I've took my mask off, because obviously I don't want this guy to be able to pick me out in the ID parade. But as I've walked out the cell, my mates are still smashing his brer up in the cell, yeah. So I've walked out one at a time, keep it cash, yeah. So I've walked out the cell. Next thing, I've looked up and I've seen this Asian gov leaning on the balcony, he's just smiling at me, yeah. So I'm fucking, fuck, I'll be nicked. I'm fucking done for. And now I'm going to get GBH, yeah. That's what I'm thinking, yeah. So anyway, I quickly run off to my mate's cell, took my clothes off, got rid of them because obviously got blood and all that on them. So got rid of my clothes. Anyway, I've gone down to get my dinner, yeah, and I couldn't find my plate. And the number one, the boss of the wing, shall we say, come down to me, slapped me on my back. It's like, well done, Roberts. You're a good man, you are, mate. And I'm in that. I swear to God, that's on my fucking kids' lives, and that's no word of a lie. The gov was like, get in there, mate. Yeah. Fucking go on, mate. Go on. And the boys that got caught, because imagine this, where I've exited the cell, I've gone off that way. I've got changed. The other 2 boys that are in there, they stayed in there. They kept giving it to him, yeah. Which I understand. Yeah, this bear really ruined a little baby's life, you know. So these other boys felt as passionate as I did. The only thing is I had the sense to leave a little bit earlier. You know what I mean? I left. And then I asked the gov a couple of weeks later, I was like, Gov, did my name come up in that? It was like, of course it did. We all knew it was you, but look at the guy. And I was like, fucking get in there, mate. Yeah, that was a good one.
Any other missions like that you can talk about?
Loads of things like that, to be fair. It's a common thing, you know, in the prisons, people noncing, they get it straight away, don't they?
Yeah.
If we lot hear about it, if the mainstream prisoners hear that there's a pedo on the wing or a sex offender on the wing, they're getting it. And that's exactly how it is. And Swellside, I like that, because Swellside, there weren't no, like when I was there was no nonces on my wing. And as soon as we found out there was a nonce there, they were gone.
Yeah.
Like within that day, they were gone. There was either holding or hiding, yeah, a good beating, or their cell would be set on fire.
Good bit to put in the trailer there, James.
You know what I mean? And that's exactly, I'm not saying I set any fires, because I never did that. But, you know.
No throat slashings either.
No throat slashings either. I never done any of them either. I didn't. You know what I mean? But.
So on a lighter note, prison ghosts.
Yeah, mate, this is no joke, mate. This really did happen, man. I was in Blunderston, yeah? And I remember this. I was in cell 1 on the ones, on B wing, yeah? And it was a single cell. It's slop out cells, yeah? In Blunderston, when I was there was no sanitations in your cell, so no toilet, no sink, no running water. It's just a little room with your bed and your telly in it and your cupboards. So at night time, you'd press your bell and you get to come out 3 times a night for going for a piss, shit, shower, whatever. Anyway, on this particular night, my mate's at the door talking to me. It's about 10 o'clock at night. And like, this is how I know this definitely did happen. Like, because he was like fucking Anthony. I'll tell you anyway. So I'm in my cell and I'm talking to my mate, and we're talking through the flap, and I'm talking to him. It's like 10 at night, because it's sanitation, so you can come out. And I'm talking to him. We're talking about, I don't know what we're talking about. Next thing, my cupboard is tipped up. This happened in front of my eyes, mate. And I was like, I shit myself, mate. Not literally shit myself, but I was like, I've got on the bell, Gov, you better get up here. So anyway, my cupboard's tipped up, all my shower gels have fallen off the back of it. And I've looked at my mate and I was like, gobsmacked, like, did you just see that? And he looked at me, I was looked at him, and he's like, you got a fucking ghost in your cell. I was like, fucking hell, mate, this is mad. And it really did happen. That really did happen, mate. Like, I'm not gassing you, I'm not chatting shit, I mean it. I swear to God, as my life, mate, that fucking happened. And I'd go to sleep in that cell, yeah, and my bed would shake. Weird cell, man. Really, really, really weird gaff, man. But I got so used to it, I'd just be like, fuck off, man. Like, it got, because you can't just move out your cell. They don't move you out of your cell.
It's not like the Travelodge.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So even when I got onto the bell, once my furniture tipped up and all that, I've got onto the bell and I'm like, Gov, you better get up here now, innit? So they've all come up, all these screws have come up, and I'm like, listen, mate, this has just happened. My cupboard's tipped up, all my shit has fallen off the thing. He's like, is there a rat in your cell? I was like, are you fucking stupid or something? What, you think the rat's gonna stop bench pressing my cupboard? So I'm like, fucking hell, man, this is a nutty gaff. But they wouldn't move me. So I had the priest come up, bless the cell and all that, and nothing changed. It was the banging, the wall would bang, I'd be going to sleep. I'd be lying down and then I'd hear a big slap off the wall, the bed would shake. It's a fucking haunted gaff, man. But even the gov, when I was talking to the gov about it, he'd be like, yeah, downstairs, the screws would be in the office, and then all the paperwork would just fly off the wall. It was a mad place, wow, mate. And that was Blunderston. Yeah. Like, honestly, if your guests look up HMP Blunderston, it was a fucking weird gaff, mate.
It's probably got some weird history.
Very weird. Very, very weird, mate.
People getting executed maybe, or cemeteries and stuff.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Well, prison's a bad gaff, man. You've got a lot of suicides.
There's a lot of weird energy in them.
It is. It's a bad place. It's very like, it's very like, you know, that feeling of just dread.
Yeah. Tension
horrible,
and dread.
horrible feelings. Yeah, man.
So you said you saw a lot of stabbings. What was the worst stabbing?
The worst one that I fucking that I heard about, I tell you, and that I had to go and clean the cell and all that, because I was classed as a biohazard. When I smashed up Swellside, I mean Scrubs, when I smashed up the visiting hall and they let me out the block, they wanted to keep me entertained, so they give me a job, because me being sat in my cell all day, I will come out my cell and I'll start going wild on the wing. It's too much like bothersome, so they gave me a job doing the British Institute of Cleaning Science. It's called the biohazard team, and this guy, I don't know how much blood he fucking lost, but this geezer, he cut his throat. He killed himself. He killed himself in Scrubs. He cut his throat. He cut his armpits and then hung himself.
His throat and his armpits.
Yeah, he cut his armpits, cut his throat, and then jumped off the pipe.
And hung himself.
Yeah,
he was gonna not fucking.
He wanted to go, man.
Definitely wanted to go.
But stabbings is like all the time. Pentonville, for instance, Pentonville. I tell you, this is the most disgustingest thing I've ever seen. What an inmate has done to himself, and I felt sick. I actually felt sick by this. I looked at the guy and I was just, my mouth was like, I was gobsmacked. This little Irish geezer, I'll never forget him. He's probably dead now. He probably killed himself. I don't know if he died at that particular moment, but it looked like he was in a bad way. He's come out of his cell and he started hacking himself up with a blade, like cutting himself. Oh. He was like, he was crying his eyes out, mate. Like this guy fully mentally disabled, like his whole life was fucking messed up. And he's come out of his cell and I heard him screaming, and then he's got a knife and he's like fucking started hacking himself up. I think it was a toothbrush with razor blades melted into it. And he just opened himself up, man. I was literally like, I was gobsmacked. I looked at him and I was just like, that's exactly what I was like, wow. Wow. And then the next thing, all the govs are on top of him and he's crying his eyes out, I can't do this. And I felt so sorry for the guy, man. Like, where's his head at, man? He's come out of his cell. He's blatantly tried to kill himself in front of everybody on the wing. And I'm not talking about discreetly or just swallowing the tablets, or the man opened himself up, cutting his arms, cutting his neck. And this was on A-Wing in Brixton. Pentonville. Yeah, and that was a regular occurrence, mate. Like, not people cutting themselves up like that on the wing, but I mean, stabbings and stuff like that. The Ville was violent. It was one of the violentest prisons I've ever been to. And you'd walk out your cell and it wouldn't be a surprise for a guy to come running past you, holding his face, blood squirting out everywhere. It was so common, like vicious. Everyone's got weapons. Very violent, very, very dangerous prison, man. And actually, I got out of there. I got out there on the 20th of March 2015, and I think October, a couple of months later, them guys actually murdered a geezer in Pentonville and flung him over the balcony. Yeah, so naughty gaff, man.
Did we do battered in Scrubs?
I've been battered in Scrubs a few times, mate, to be fair. Yeah.
Over
literally.
what?
I had a fight in the cells with boys. I had a fight in the shower and got battered. This is mad. Imagine this, I had a fight with this geezer and he was a fucking good fighter, mate, because he fucking done me, But I was going to court. I was literally, I got my 3 years and all that, all the concurrent sentences, and I'm going on trial for the robberies that I never done, and that they're fitting me up for, So I've gone to court, with two big shiners, like two big fucking black eyes, where I had a fight with this geezer and he fucking blatantly done me, man. But that's just, you can't win them all, can you?
No, not at all.
You know what I mean? And but that's just over stupidness again, over phones, over drugs, over bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I'd advise anyone who goes to jail, if you do have a phone, don't tell anyone, don't tell no one, and then just keep humble, man. Be humble, man. When you start being Jack the Big Bollocks, that's when all the problems occur, don't they?
They're going to get reduced.
Yeah,
E-Man dickhead bumping into him on the way to the gym and Superhuman headbutting him.
Yes, Superman headbutted him and gave it to him, man, because this guy, imagine this E-Man, this is the E-Man, the fucker. I'm an E-Man Roberts, he's E-Man dickhead. I can't remember his name, but he's in Stripes as well, And obviously, I've been wanting to get this guy. They've moved me off the wing. They put me on a nutty wing. Months later, I'm out of the nutty wing and I'm on J wing now. And I'm going to the gym, I'm behaving sort of. And I see this geezer, mate, and end up I've seen him. I give my towel to my pal, and I'll never forget this, man, because I hated this geezer. I hated him for what he said to me, yeah, and the fact that we hated each other. He hated me just as much as I hated him. I seen him hand the towel over, fly Superman headbutt, and just fucking scrapping it out again. And that was just like a common thing. That's the only one that I remember. That, you know what I mean? Because I'm starting to forget. It's mad. The longer I've been out of jail 3 years now. And I remember when I got out of jail in 2015, yeah, all my stories were about prison. All of my shit I could remember was all prison. But I've been out of jail 3 years now. I'm starting to forget about the trauma, forget about all that shit in there, you know what I mean? But yeah, some mad experiences in there.
Are there any stories that we've not touched on that you want to?
Yeah, it's a funny one. I forgot. I actually thought about it the other day, yeah. After I'd sent all that stuff off to Ash, there was this Gov, yeah. What can I call him? I'll call him Gov, innit, yeah. And imagine this, yeah, in Scrubs, I was a young 21 to 23-year-old proper cocky little shit, yeah. And I had the phones and all that. And this one Gov, yeah, he kept spinning me. Yeah, kept trying to find my phone, yeah. And I had another Gov that was on my team. Yeah, this other Gov was my team. Yeah, because he used to tell me who the pedos were and all of that, yeah. And he was a good guy. So I'm getting my cell spun, like 7 o'clock in the morning, bang, door will come off, security cell spin. So I'd be in there, and I was in there with my pal, we call him Daniel. I was in there with my mate Daniel that I've known all my life, yeah, and this is a good friend of mine. So at this stage, they're coming for us 3 times a week, bang, regularly as clockwork. They're coming, trying to get my phone. So this was going on for like 6 months now, yeah. So I've been naughty, I've been put on basic. So now they've kicked me out of my mate's cell and put me in a single cell by myself, all the way down at the end on the 4s in C wing. It's massive, one of the biggest wings I've ever been on. And I'm there on this wing, and I'm bored. I'm locked up 23 hours a day. I'm absolutely bored out of my mind, yeah. But these things, the Govs, I know what they want. They want my phone, yeah. So I thought, I'll give them my phone. So what I used to do, yeah, is I used to know I was getting a cell spin, so I would go and get bars of soap, yeah, and I would be bored out of my mind. I would make 10 phones out of loads of different bars of soap, yeah, and then I'd put a little aerial on the top so it looked like an aerial, wrap it up in tissue paper, and I'd have them planted all over myself. So they'd come in, yeah, and be like, yes, I've got it, and then they'd rip it open, they'd find a bar of soap, yeah. And that's how I used to fuck with them all the time, and that was my little method, yeah. So on this particular day, yeah, I've been doing that all week, fucking annoying them, yeah. So then they've come for me. Sorry, I'm downstairs, I'm on association, and I'm with my pal Chris, yeah. And I've done it, and I've wanted to get this Gov, yeah. So I've got the soap bar that looks like a phone in my trousers. I've got a cut hole in my pocket, yeah, so I can accidentally drop it at the bottom of my trousers. So I've done this in front of the Gov. Yeah, so the Gov now is like, he thinks he's got the phone, yeah. He's been dying for this for like a good 6 months. He's been trying to get this phone, yeah. So I'm there now, and I'm like, my mates, I've dropped the thing, and we've made a fake kerfuffle, like, and my pal's picked it up, and he's like, oh, I've got it. That's what he's like, yeah. So he's come running over, and I'm like, what? He's like, I know what you've got. Get your phone. Get your fucking phone. We know, I've just seen it. So I said to my mate Chris, I was like, go on, let him have it. Go on, just give it to him, man. So he got it, and I seen the joy in his face, you know. He's like, yes, Roberts, I've got you, you fucker. Yeah, so anyway, he's got the phone, and he's gone running off to the office. Fucking, he's a div, mate. And then all my mates were all sitting there just cracking up now. So he's come running back, yeah, about 20 minutes later. Sorry, man, he's come back 20 minutes later, pissed, fuming, because obviously I've got him again, and I couldn't get my phone. And then he spun me, and the guy that was the good officer, shall I say, he's there, and this Ray's spinning my cell like all the time. This guy's spinning my cell all the fucking time. He's out to get me. And he can never get me. He can never get me. But the thing is, with this fucker, yeah, the Gov, now, do you know, I'm not even going to say that because that could cause problems. But yeah, it was a journey, man. Honestly, that was a bloody journey.
And then you were off license for the first time in 15 years. How did that feel?
Yeah, it's good. This is the longest I've never been out of the system ever.
Really?
Yeah, literally. From the age of 3.
Yeah.
From when all that mad shit happened up until I got off my license in 2019.
Wow.
That's the longest. So that's well, a long time. 84 to 2019 in the system.
Yeah, wow.
So now we're good now. We're good boys now.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Yeah.
It took me long enough to realise that, didn't it? So, yeah. But to be fair, it's been a mad life, mate.
You thinking of starting your own podcast?
I am definitely going to start my own podcast. It's going to be very soon. In fact, by the time I give you all them bits, it will be online.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Should be anyway. And my little thing that I've going to have with it, I told you about earlier, I think that makes me different. You know what I mean? Because obviously, true crime podcasts, I think, are good. Everybody's into that. And obviously, if you can talk to young people, but my method is going to be different to everyone else. I ain't got a studio like this, unfortunately, but I will make something out of nothing. And I always do, man.
Yeah.
I literally do. And yeah, it's going to be cool, man.
Well, I think it'll do well with your speaking skills.
I think it'll be all right. And to be fair, it encourages people that I know to not be criminal no more as well. And it gives them the opportunity to get on the platform and have a chat and hopefully encourage other young guys to not do all the fucking crazy things that we did. You know what I mean?
So what do you say in conclusion then to all the people who've watched part one and really enjoyed it and want to follow more about you and stuff?
Yeah, hit me up, follow me. I will be starting my channel soon, very, very soon. My book hopefully will be out for summertime. And just gonna try and I'm just gonna try and fucking help these younger ones, man. Because my life here, Shaun, has been absolute nuts, mate. From the age of 3 up until I'm 36, it's been crazy, 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 crazy. And I want to encourage young people to not do the same shit that I did. That's important to me. I've done a lot of bad things in my life, things that I'm very ashamed about, and that I need to do right in my life to make up for all the wrong I've done. And I generally do believe this, yeah, that if I can persuade some younger people or even older people, it doesn't matter about their age, if I can persuade people to not go down the road of chaos, because that's what that road is, chaotic, it's painful, you bleed, you lose, you suffer. You know, so if I can stop people from going down that road and just give them a little bit of advice, then I'm getting back some love from God, because I need it, you know, and I call it soul food, innit? Like, if I can do good and encourage people to do good, then when it comes for my time, I'll go to heaven and not hell, because that's important to me, mate, you know, and helping people out is good. Plus, I'm going to be hopefully working with this great bunch of people from, they're from there, I forgot their name now. They're called Ignite, the Ignite Trust in Harrow, and they've got basically a youth centre there. They do boxing, they've got facilities to educate children, and if kids are struggling at home, then they've got people to talk to there, as in the staff are there. They're all trained so they can help you. Plus, it gets the kids out of the house. I know it's difficult right now with COVID laws and all of this shit going on, but this ain't going to last forever. And then obviously, because there's a lot of kids that don't have happy homes, you know, Shaun, a lot of children have got bad, violent homes. So if these kids or young adults are aware of these services, then it gets them out of their house for a little bit. They can go and have a little bit of normality, play a game of snooker, play football. Harrow's got a fucking good football team, you know what I mean? Plus, Ignite Trust they've got a gold standard award in 2019, so they're doing good stuff. And hopefully I can be a part of that and then try and just do good things instead of getting mixed up in bullshit, because it hurts too much, man.
That's an excellent way to round it off, because we're not glamorizing crime.
Definitely not.
We are educating young people about the horrors of what that lifestyle leads to.
Yeah, mate.
Prison, the consequences, you lose your missus.
Everything.
The heartbreak you put your mum through when she's coming to visit you in one of those shitholes. And all the other, you know, the years of your life that are lost. So, you know, we've all sat here being gripped by Anthony's story for, 4 or 5 hours now, if you watch part 1 as well. And just so many lessons to be learned for the young people, not to get gangsteritis, not to go down that route. So a huge thank you to everyone who's watched parts 1 and parts 2. I'll put a link to part 1 at the top of the description box if you want to check that out. And if you've got your YouTube up by then, we could put that in there as well. Might start to get some subscribers off the back of that.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, so huge thank you for coming. Huge thank you for coming back so soon.
Thanks for having me back, mate.
Thanks to James and Joe for filming this today. Huge thank you to all the new subscribers. Subscription logos in the bottom corner of the screen. And huge thank you to people who've gone down in the description box and supported our socials, donations, and all the other links. All right, brother. Here's a hug. Yeah. Cheers, man.
Take care.
Yeah. Well done again. Fantastic.
Thanks for having me.
Superb.
Cheers, man.
Yeah.